to go to the second day.
Can you stream it? Call on Google Meet.
Good morning, everyone. I hope all of you slept well and had a nice dinner yesterday. And well, I didn't join the social program, but today I will be. But I hope you had a good time at the karaoke and you remember what's going on yesterday. Today we have 5 applications. 4 of them are for national level positions. So make sure to pay attention and also talk to your vote delegates. So tomorrow will be the voting. And also go talk to the applicants if you want to know your results and all of that. So make use of the time that you have here. And we also have 2 workshops planned again today, parallel. One's going to be Slack, and the other one is data privacy. You will get more details on the city for that. And then there's also going to be a section consultation and NBC updates upcoming. So we have to talk with you and also get some input from your side or the results that you have. So looking forward to an engaged Saturday and a heavy day of the 3 days. So thank you for joining in. I'm happy to see everybody's here on time. Officially open.
Thank you so much, Jyoti. So today we have where should I?
Yeah, you put the name on the side.
Nice, amazing. So we're going to start with a recap of yesterday, with the rules of the game and who we are, because it's better to have it twice in once, right? So that you actually remember, and if we have some newcomers, so that you're also aware of the rules of the SMA. So now we voted as in everybody, so we're officially your city for today and tomorrow. I'm Catherine, this is Jill and Peter. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. You can come to us during the breaks and lunch. So rules of the games. The first and main rules that you should be aware of, that the official working language of the MA is English, so please, all presentations are in English, all questions should be in English. We have international guests, so let's keep it nice and respectful and talk English to each other. Please respect speaking order and procedural rules, avoid disruptive behavior. All participants should follow the code of conduct. If you don't know what code of conduct is, there is a QR code that leads to that, so you can check it out. You are expected to be present on time at the beginning of every day, especially if you're a vote delegate. You need to be present so that you get the voting device. Congratulations, everyone got their voting device. Someone did pass the word check already. Yeah, how to go to work again with voting devices, because this is the question I was asked. So you have this as your voting device. We're going to have a question where you're going to practice once again how to raise your voting device and when. But when we ask a question and you have the options of yes, no, or abstain, then you only need to raise your voting device for the option that you're voting for. If you ask, do you vote yes? You raise your voting device and then you lower it. And for the quorum check after coffee breaks and lunch, when we name your section, you also just raise your voting device so that we can see that you're present. So you don't have to scream or speak. We can do it in silence. Are there any questions on the voting devices now? Perfect. Okay. So once again, because today we'll need this the most, so gestures. We have silent applause of appreciation. Yes. Then we raise both hands for silence, but in case you forget, I have the paper as well here. Then, if you want to ask a question, it's just a straight hand, but we're going to Slido for all the questions, especially needed for the AP and the applicants, but actually for all the presentations that you're going to listen to today, because the majority of them have Q&A prepared. Then we have comment with 2 fingers. You can use 2 fingers also for the follow-up question after you ask the question. And you have 1 finger for the procedure. Procedure is everything what is related to the way the MA is happening, related to the status, if something is violated, or if you want to make some kind of proposal or the agenda change. Then, about presentations. So, presentations may be moved within the agenda if necessary, so please remain flexible and attentive to the agenda updates. You all have the link to the agenda. When you have a presentation, you are given allocated presentation time. In case you are running out of time, then we're going to show you 2 for 2 minutes, and 1 for 1 minute, and then once you reach the limit, then we will cut you off, unfortunately. Q&A round. This assignment is important for you as participants. We're going to have speakers list by Slido. You're going to have a QR code, and then please always put your name and section into your question. Otherwise, we'll remind you. When you ask a question, be very specific and concise, and do not ask 2 questions in 1 question. They will be counted as 2. You can ask 2 questions in one round, and then if you have more questions, you will be moved to the end of the speakers list, and we'll get back to you after everyone asks their question. Do not repeat questions, and in case your question is similar or the same as someone has already asked, you can just say covered, and we're going to go to the next question. If you ask a question which is not related directly to the topic, to the applicant, anything like that, this question will not be considered. So you don't have to ask an applicant what's your favorite color. It's not related to the application. Do you have any questions for now? Wonderful. Then one important thing, at the coffee break, if you don't have your name tag, please come to Martin, he's going to give you a name tag. And I would like to ask the workshop facilitators for today to stand up so that you can show yourself. So we have Alice, Fabian, and GT for the workshops. In case you want to switch a workshop, change the workshop that you're pre-assigned, which is in the parallel workshops tab in the agenda sheet, you can come to facilitators and ask them directly if you can switch. And they will let you know if they have a spot or not. Okay? Okay? Great. All right. Then, if there are no more questions, we can proceed to safety team. So you probably have already met them by now. We have 3 people for the safety team for this NA. It's Susanna, Nina, and Giuseppe. Can you maybe show yourself? Yes. So in case you feel unsafe throughout the NA, during the plenary time, during the social program, please talk to them, reach out to them. They will be your points of contact for anything that you don't feel well about. Quorum check. We gave out all the voting devices, so technically we have all of you, but we'll go once again to ensure that everyone has their voting device. So I hope you remember what you need to do. You need to raise your voting device. ESN via Arena. ESN local. ESN Valley Network. ESN in ESN Innsbruck. ESN Klagenfurt. ESN Kufstein. ESN Linz. ESN Salzburg. ESN St. Pölten. ESN Technikum Wien. ESN TU Graz. ESN Uni Graz. And ESN Uni Wien. Perfect. Wonderful. Then we pass the quorum check. And now let's start with the warm-up question of today's NA. So the question is, can I ask scrutinizers to come front? Will lose a scrutinizer?
I think one of them is running late.
As well, have
Maybe you
to.
can manage.
Yeah, maybe you can help.
Maybe not me. Okay.
Get everyone to do it.
Okay, so the question is, how long does the playlist of Martina last? I hope you saw it. It wasn't the struggle guide. So there are 3 options, and you'll need to vote for one of them. Who thinks that it's 4 hours and 57 minutes? Please raise your voting device. Who thinks it's 5 hours and 8 minutes? And 5 hours and 34 minutes? Well, let's do that again. Okay, so 4 hours, 57 minutes. If you have several of them, please raise them both. Okay, 5 hours and 8 minutes. And 5 hours and 34 minutes. Okay. Yes, thank you so much. So the right answer is 5 hours and 8 minutes.
Good job, guys.
Perfect. So then, while people are setting around, we have the first important part of the agenda, which is NEC updates. So for that and how this is going to work, I would ask National Board to explain to participants.
Hello everyone. Many of you has already attended one NA in Austria already knows how this works. For the NEC updates, what we're going to do is I'm going to make 4 groups out of everybody who's here. Actually 5 groups. And then we have 4 national board people here. So each of your group is going to go join one of the board positions. And then you will have, I think, around 10 minutes to get some updates from the national board, ask your questions, and get up to date. And then after 10 minutes, we will rotate. That means after 10 minutes, the national board people will just switch the groups there. You stay in place how you are. I will explain this again, but before that, I think we can already move on making the groups. So for the groups, I will ask you, I see some faces already being frustrated. No, it's going to be fine. I would ask everybody to stand up and line up according to the years or months you have been in ESN. That means like how long you have been in ESN. Starting from here, the newest people, and the people who have been longest in ESN all the way to the back. You can also try that.
I think now it's okay. So it's definitely loud, but like people can make the stream quieter. I would also join. Yeah, because I have nothing better to do.
So I guess everybody has slowly figured out where they fit into the line.
I just sit there and you just only have to solve
Good. Everybody has found their spots? Yeah, I see like a bunch there because it's fish, but that should be fine. Okay, then 4. So from you onwards, you are one group. You can collect yourself over there. I will just take you to the board member. You want to see it? You can join there.
I don't care because like here's like a cafe in my shop.
Ah, it's a cut about half a year.
Yeah.
Then let's stay like that. 4, then around here, I would say. And yeah, well, you're basically connected all together. I think this is fine as well now. Marianne, your part is you can do it. Yeah.
You're doing that.
You want to join?
No, I want to fill the gap here.
Ah. Well done. So you're with this group. You're group number 3. You're group number 4. Okay, so group number 1, you over here, you're going to join Fabian, and your workshop, you're going to stay in this room. And group number 2, you are over here, you will join Jess, and you will go to the first workshop room, that's right outside to the left. Group number 3, all of you, you will go join Dagmar together, and then you will go join the second room down the hallway to the left. So she will take you there. And yeah, you're going to join me and Julie, and you're going to be in the hallway over there.
You can also, I think both doors to the right are also open.
You mean the students?
Yeah, I think yeah, 5 rooms.
I think the hallway would be nice.
Yeah.
So how this is going to work? We will take you there, and you can stay where you are. During the rotation, the national board members, they're going to switch tables. So you don't have to go anywhere. You just stay there, and then the board member will come. Yeah? Okay, well, we'll be going on last. Dagmar, you can take your group over here and just as well. Yeah.
I will take and then sorry, I take the time, so I will take it.
Wonderful. Please take your seats. We hope that the session was very fruitful and enjoyable to get all the vacancy updates. And we're going to proceed with the agenda so that we can be on track with time. And next is the AB presentation. We have a clicker as well. And then you can take
Should I just step like?
Well, thank you very much. Yes, hi, audit board presentation. First of all, what is the audit board? The audit board is, right now, Mario and me. It's officially 3 positions. We have another, I am reapplying, we have another application, but there's still an open spot. We are always happy about new applicants. What do we actually do? So we are the legal supervisory body of ESN Austria, and we advise the National Board on legal matters, on voting questions, on procedural questions, on questions about the statutes, and so on. But we're also available for all of you. If you in your section are planning to change your statutes, if you have any questions on statutes, on critical issues, you can always approach us, and we're happy to answer any of your questions on Slack, via email, whatever you prefer. But we're also there for evaluating and reporting on the legal conduct of the association, and also on reporting on the action plan. Yes, what is the action plan? Who knows what the action plan is? A few. Okay, so the action plan is a plan where the National Board sets the goals for the mandate for the next year. And it is defined by the National Board, but it is also approved by the National Assembly. So, at the next National Assembly, I think, you will vote on the action plan for the next National Board. And this is what it kind of looks like. So you set some goals for each position. It can look also different. This time it looks like this. And these are the big things that you want to reach. And I can tell you that this action plan for this mandate, we have over 50% of tasks are done. And only 3 out of 15 tasks are not done at all. And I will give you a short update on what happened there. So for the president's position, we have external collaboration, which is not done. This is mainly also due to resources and time issues, since also the National Board is not full right now. There was no time for that. And we also have the point section visits, which is only done very little, which is still in the works. So as you might have gotten some messages, there are section visits planned. But this is also, since there's no official vice president right now, of course, not really done. Then we have a point on the treasurer things are mostly done. Then we have communication manager. So this all says 0 because apparently Jess was not at the meeting when I updated the action plan. But she told me that the partner promotion and the social media diversification has been mostly done. And maybe you have also seen that on the social media of the ESN Austria board. And but the ESN Austria engagement is still a task that is that is open. And then I still have the events manager, which is like 80% done. This is also done deadline until the end of the mandate, and there's still open tasks when it comes to ALPS and the knowledge transfer. Yes, so much for the action plan. Actually quite good compared to also past mandates. Not a bad job. This is also something that we report on in every NA, and at the next NA. At the next NA, you will see the new action plan. So read it, see what the national board has planned, and also, yeah, review it yourself if they're doing the job that they actually said they will do. Other than that, what is the status in ESN Austria? So, since we also report on the conduct of ESN Austria, right now we have open positions, and we also don't have applications for every position, which is an issue, because as you can see, it influences the work that the national board is doing. So we highly recommend to promote applying for the national board, because this is very important that the board is full. Also, very important, financial auditors. By law, every association is required to have 2 financial auditors, and we don't have them right now. Like a motivation for you, maybe ask in your sections, is there anybody motivated to be financial auditor? It is very important to have those. And the audit board, not legally mandated, but it's always nice to have a good audit board to also review what the national board is doing and to see if they're doing their job correctly. So if you're motivated, apply for the audit board. And what did we do on the time in the last months? We advised the national board on different legal questions like voting procedures, like advice on whatever. There are also always small things that come up. We check the processes, whether they follow the rules, whether the deadlines are held up. And also we advised ESN Klagenfurt on their big transition to an association and all of the issues that came with that. Mario, would you like to add something?
Covered.
Perfect. Then that was it from my side. And questions?
Before we proceed with Q&A, are there any questions expected? Beautiful. Then this means that we're turning to Slido.
Your mic? Which mic? Which mic?
Yes, but first, so that you can scan the QR code and ask a question. And then we're going to have a mic runner, Bruce.
Yes.
Who's going. So how the Q&A is going to go, if you ask a question in the Slido, Bruce will come to you and you will need to state your name and section and then repeat your question. And then he is going to answer.
Could you please open the Q&A?
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
No, it should be open. You can type them down.
First question?
Oliver is in Germany. What are the consequences of not having a financial auditor? As you said, you're required by law.
Good question, thank you. There are no consequences immediately unless the official Austrian government body in charge of associations becomes aware of the situation. It's a common thing for associations within the ESN context that it's hard to fill that position. There is a very strict timetable between the end of the board mandate, how long they have to prepare a financial statement, and then at the end of this period, at least at the end, the financial auditors have a second period of time when they check the statement and then they present it. And in this presentation in ESN Austria, typically that happens at the autumn in May. They report on the conduct of the last mandate and they advise the sections to vote whether the board should be discharged or not. If we don't have auditors, we don't have a report, we don't have advice if there should be a discharge or not. So basically the board is not discharged, which means the board in question stays legally liable for their conduct until they are discharged, or if they are never discharged, it's a deadline of 30 years.
So next question is from Fabian, National Board.
Hello, Fabian from the National Board. We're very grateful, obviously, to have you. You've been in the audit board for some time, so you've seen different action plans over the year. Do you maybe have some tips for the next National Board on what's a good action plan and maybe what's realistic?
I think one technicality within the action plans, which has been introduced, I think, 1 or 2 boards ago, and you also did it the same way, is that you actually label the deliverables. How can this action topic be fulfilled? How do we know it is fulfilled? So putting away the content, just how to measure that, what you want to achieve, that's a big thing for the action plan. It's also good for yourself as a national board, so you can know, I reached that milestone, that topic is closed, I did what I promised. On the other side, I've seen plenty of action plans. They are always more on a bigger picture and on a, I want to achieve that within the mandate. It's a bit fuzzy. Most of the action plans have some content which is never fulfilled. And it's also sometimes pushed in the next action plan. So the next board gets the old action plan, sees how those topics have not been fulfilled, so we just include them in our action plan. That's something I would advise the next board to be looking hard at, if they actually want to do that, because it's a backpack of responsibilities which they get from the previous board, and in some cases it makes no sense to do it. And there are some topic lines which have been in the past in the action plans. For your position, for example, treasurer position, create templates for local sections or revive Austrian VFC community. Those have been continued for years and it's hard to achieve, and it can be frustrating for the treasurer if they know it's my task and I can't achieve it and it's still in there. So maybe focus on small topics which can be easily delivered and which have clear goals and deliverables.
Before we proceed to the next question, are there more questions expected? Then I propose to close the speakers list. I would also ask OD board to limit your answer time by 1 minute, and in case it's reached, then I'm going to cut you off, so I hope you don't mind that. The next question is from Dashi, the Central Meeting.
Hello, so actually this question was partly answered already. My question is, what will happen if until tomorrow we don't have applications for necessary by law positions like president, the treasurer, and the financial auditors? That it was already covered, yes.
Well, the transition between the mandates is end of April, 1st of May. So until then, there is still time to find new people who want to do that positions. If applications come in, so I expect the National Board to reopen the applications. If an application comes in, there can be an extraordinary and a online, and we vote them in before the deadline. In the case we don't have people in the mandate when the next mandate starts, technically the old people of the board have to continue their work for some period of time, but let's hope that we fill the positions until the start of the next mandate.
One question short, can I?
A very quick follow-up.
Yes, but there will be no NA to vote for them until April.
No, the extraordinary NA can be done within 2 weeks.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Next question is anonymous.
That's me, sorry.
Could you please state your name and section and formulate your question properly?
Okay. Marty is in Innsbruck. How much work is the audit board actually?
It depends. During the mandate between the NAs, it's on demand when people reach us. Then it can be intense and on the spot a lot of work, but it's not something you have to do every day an hour or something. For example, the in Klagenfurt situation was an acute problem where there was more time invested. Other than that, it can be weeks without any work to do.
And for the NA, preparing is also usually takes up some time, like presentations, which I didn't do this time, but preparing the presentation, and also checking up if everything is correct, and the National Board usually has a lot of questions before the NA.
Thank you.
Next question from Anna.
Yes. Just to spread
Name
some
and
light.
section.
Anna is in Berlin. What did you like the best, or what was fun?
It's just nice to be in touch with IS in Austria in general over a longer period of time, and also with experience which both Elise and I have, be able to help and guide new members of the board, also new people in the NA, and still apply the knowledge you accumulate.
And also in the case of fun.
Thank you. And the last question is from Oliver.
Oliver is in Germany. You spoke about bigger picture items on the action plan. Is there some kind of strategy plan, like similar on the international level, like the 3-year strategy plan, spanning multiple mandates in Austria? Or do you think it makes sense to have something like that?
There is no such thing. I think we're not in a spot where the continuation of people in the mandates is there. So planning 3 years ahead is planning for the second successor generation, and then it's obsolete already.
That was it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Oliver. So we can move on to the next point of the agenda, and for this point we're going to mute the stream and turn it off.
The coffee break is going to be in the room 15. It's the second room here to the right. And please bring your cups.
It's very important, especially for you to delegates that listen closely, because we need to make decisions. So do you see your delegates around you from your sections? Yeah, and if not, find them, text them, call them.
Part of the live stream is just like, if somebody's going to look at it, it's like, oh, yes,
And we're going to have a joint Q&A session. So when you're going to ask questions, you will need to state also who you're asking the question.
But you accepted it like this? It has a minus of 1,000 euros. It looks really weird.
We don't hear you.
No, on the many sets it says, will be added soon. 2 years? Oh. I mean, if you have them, it would be nice if you could have them. But I know finance.
Did you say something?
No, this is ridiculous.
Do you hear us?
Can you say something?
Can you say something?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Do you hear Xenia?
Yes.
Yes. So everyone is here. Now you can see them. Here.
Hi.
Yes. So you're going to see me. You will have 7 minutes for your presentation. So people will see you, they hear you, and then you're going to have a joint Q&A together with another applicant. Okay? So you can share your screen. And when you have 2 and 1 minutes, I'm going to write you in the chat. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Thank you. Yep. Can you share can you see my small slide?
Yes, you can see your slide.
Okay, that's right.
They're a bit blurry though. I don't know. Can you read what's written?
No.
Yes. Do you think it's possible to make it more? Perfect.
Yeah.
Now good. We can go ahead.
Okay. So hi everyone. For those who don't know me, I'm Xenia. I'm from year 7 again. I've been a member for about 1.5 years. I've been organizing all sorts of events, outdoor events, cultural events. I've also been a member of the office team, so the liaison cards, pickup shipments, all that. I've also been on SIPA Alps last semester and currently serving as OC. From education, I'm actually coming from a SIPA background, and I have an interest in legal tech, so legal education and technology. And I also have a minor in digital law. And I've also been involved with policies through another organization, through Young Urban Federalists. So I've actually been searching through policies and writing them for quite some time now. And my main motivation for audit board is basically to support sections in that. And I'm genuinely very curious to explore the position, and I think I have a lot to learn from Alice as well. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I love the efficiency of audit board. So now we're going to go to the Q&A round. You will see the screen with questions. You may now put your questions in. And when you write a question, please state who you ask a question. Yes. Do we expect any questions? Yeah. Yes, it's always the same Slido link. It doesn't change. Okay, we have a question from Oliver.
Yeah, sorry for the typo. Is there something that you want to improve now? Is there something that you want to improve in this new mandate from your current mandate? Is it like now that you're a main auditor also want to become a doctor?
Alice Oliver, yes, so on a personal note, my responsiveness on the Austria stack has been a bit lacking, so I want to improve that. On another note, I wanted to create like a sheet for myself to keep track of all of the deadlines that we have in the statutes, to also keep a better track of that. I also thought of maybe doing like a tracking of the issues that we take care of to see whether it's also done something like that. But this would be something that I would also talk to other audit members about. But those were some ideas that came up.
Anna?
Okay, my question was already answered, but Anna maybe, because I think our statutes were in German, but I learned that they're also English, because the audit board was always Austrian, I think.
So our official, our official statutes are in German, because they need to be in German. But we have an English translation, but when there are issues, we have to look at the German one, if they're like understanding inconsistencies. The rest of our legal documents are all in English because they're not officially needed by the client.
So the next question is from Lev. I would say, since we have a question to both, then now you answer first, and then Ksenia, and then you switch. Okay? Lev?
Lev, you sent 2 grants. My question is to both candidates. Have you ever worked before together on anything?
So no, not closely. I'm not sure if I'm missing like some event in Vienna where she might have been as well, and I was as well, but not like in close together. No.
Do you want to add anything?
No, I think it's covered.
Good. Then Oliver.
Oliver is in Germany. To Ksenia, do you have any experience with association law and statutes or something like that?
Yes, actually, sorry. I'm from Judge Salzburg, so it's another organization, it's more political. And we also have statutes, and we also have the same European level structure that dictates some of them, and some of them are local. And I'm not native in German, so sometimes I might have some struggles understanding and translating them. But I think in that case, I would just ask others for help, and I'm hoping that that would be enough.
Okay, GT?
GT in Austria. My question is for Ksenia. It's basically, have you looked at the statutes and the legal documents so far? And if so, that's the main question. How do you assess your current understanding of the foreign application?
Could you please repeat the set of questions with them?
I can't for this. Just the first question. Have you looked at the statutes and legal documents?
I have not looked at Austria statutes. I've only looked at international ones because, well, we're in English, it was faster. But I believe that's something that I will do if I want to be elected, because I think actually audit board is a lot about just researching and going through legal documents and answering the questions, and it's not necessarily about knowing by heart. So, yeah.
You can go with the second session.
Jidenia in Austria. The second question to you, Ksenia, would have been how well do you assess your current understanding of them for your application? But I guess that is already covered, that you haven't looked at them, right? Thank you.
Before we continue, are there more questions expected?
Mario, audit board. part of my question was covered, so it's not to Alice only. Do you like to change anything about the legal setting for the AB?
And as audit board, I haven't looked at the AB stuff in a long time, but it might be good to have a look at it again, because I think the AB parts have not been changed since they were introduced. Not really, not a lot. Yeah, might be good to have a look again. Nothing planned so far.
Oliver is in Germany. To Alice, will you try to do something about the missing financial auditors?
Alice Oliver, I will keep annoying the national board about it, and I will keep annoying all of you about it, and I will not shut up about it until there are two.
Is that the answer?
That is answer.
Does it answer your question? Okay. Do we expect more questions? Or I'm proposing to close the speakers list. The speakers list is closed.
Sasha, PKW. So my question is for Tanya. How would you say your experience in other organizations would help you in this position, or would help you with the tasks of this position?
I would say that mostly it's actually experience of new forms, because there it's a lot about relationship between people, and you have to be approachable, and there are a lot of negotiations going on, because sometimes when you ask people to follow certain statutes, they're not very happy about it. So I think that's maybe a relevant experience. But I also believe that experience within ESM will help me more for this position, because it's about understanding the structure, knowing the people, knowing how to approach them. And of course, general understanding of law, and some course where they have training for that. Thank you.
Does that answer your question? Great. Then thank you so much to both of the applicants. Thank you so much for joining us online. We wish you a great day. And
thank you.
Wait, you can say bye. Bye. And then also we'll be taking place tomorrow. So we'll keep you updated. Okay, beautiful. Then we're moving on to the next application. And we have the NV application for communication manager. I will kindly ask you, when applicants are presenting or they're in the Q&A, be kind and don't leave the room, because you may distract them by the door sound, because it is quite loud. You ready?
Hello, everybody. I'm very excited to be standing here. Almost too excited. I feel my heart beating in my chest. But that's, I think, normal. Yes, this is my application, my first application for the national board as a communication manager. Just about me, in case you don't know me, I'm Bruce. I'm born from Switzerland. Yes, I'm born in Switzerland. I'm Russian and German, but don't talk to me in Russian. It doesn't, I don't understand that much. My hobbies involve triathlon and art. So that's, I think, also the reason why I want to go for a communication manager, because mostly I like drawing stuff, but also being just in a very creative environment. I study business and economics and just have a kind of personal focus on marketing itself in my master hopefully. In ESN, I've been a member since September 24. Formerly the communication manager and event manager, now just event manager ever since Giuseppe took over, and he's doing a great job since then. I've attended 2 NAs, one in Cologne and one in Wien, and also one NTA where I was first exposed to kind of the bigger picture of ESN, and ever since then I want to get more involved. So that's why I'm standing in front of you here today. In terms of work experiences, I feel like this is kind of unnecessary, but maybe just to have a good idea of what I did. I did a lot of ski teaching, and just kind of instructing, working with children in a boarding school. Also doing freelance video editing work, and now I'm also doing graphic design freelance, and also just boring office jobs. In volunteering, I've also been in a Formula Student Club, CTM, Campus Tirol Motorsport, for 1.5 years, finishing as the marketing lead, but quitting due to personal reasons, also because volunteering takes a lot of time. So I already have a lot of experience, particularly also with leading people, creating a content plan, just overall being creative. I've had a lot of projects there. If you want to see them later today, I'm happy to show you to them. And also at another events innovation, they call it, also in a social media team. Volunteer, that's my experience. My motivation, I've already said it. In general, the NTF showed me the broader picture of ESN, and I wanted to get more involved. I wasn't even a board member back then, but I'm going to be a board member, still part of the NB mandate. To me, becoming a member of the NB is, as you can see, it's a challenge for me also to grow. I feel like there's still a lot of work to be done also locally, but I also want to kind of go outside a bit more and use on a national level, also support others more, especially communication managers. That might help. It's also, again, as I said, just a personal and career development, and also just something that I really like doing. I think I like talking to people. I like you guys, and I also just like to, I don't know, do social media and design stuff. Yeah, to my ideas, I feel like I'm already going to say what's at the bottom. I don't know if it's realistic to do all of this, especially the first mandate, because again, I will probably mostly be stuck up helping, like supporting local boards rather than actually doing this stuff. But if I have the chance to do any of this, or like at least some of them, it would probably be just social media based stuff. I took a lot of inspiration from the social media team from Cologne, from the NA that I met in, from the NB, the social media team in ESN Germany. And I'm also in contact right now with one of them for a collab. But in general, I made some merch drafts. I really want to make cool stuff. I think I already found Hannah's successor, but I don't know. And also just, I want to do some more stuff with the sections. So section spotlight, that was an idea that also Jess had. And maybe I can probably start doing it, just to highlight some sections, maybe also achievements. It could be a good motivator, for example. But also just do collab posts, if that is in line with what ESN Austria wants, I don't know yet. But in general, just maybe also use the ability of growing our reach, maybe building a better social media into the future, also maybe using it as a way to get more partnerships, I don't know. But it's definitely an idea. And yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for listening, and yeah, this is my cat.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to the Q&A round. Again, please do not leave the room during Q&A. Be concise with your questions. That'd be nice. Do we expect any questions?
Oliver is in Germany. Question: how will you handle wind violations?
Bruce, yes, in Innsbruck. So the way they were handled so far was, I don't remember, I did one wind violation myself. I was like, oh, that's a bit fair. But what happened was that we got deducted maybe minus 0.5 points, I don't know, yes. And so then I think Jess just came to me and just told me there was a wind violation and fix this. And I think that's the same way I'm going to do it. Maybe there can be a warning system. I don't know. I will probably mostly copy the system of the old national board, or maybe alter it a bit. Yes, but I definitely want to give the new communication managers and everything the chance also first learn these things. Also to what Chess did was a webinar to learn how BIM even works with others. Yes, thank you.
Yes, Anna Olivin. How are you accounting the time commitment of this? So you're a student full time, I guess?
Yeah, so maybe some insight, like my schedule, my stuff. So yes, I'm a full-time student. I will do my bachelor thesis in the next winter semester, but I will still live in Innsbruck, and I'm going to do an internship going into my like the second half of the mandate. But I will still be in Austria most likely, and right now I study, I do freelance work, I train for Ironman, so it's just, I think I have enough time to do this, honestly.
Thank you. So the next question is for me, Catherine, my chair. As a former communication manager, I would like to ask you, are you planning to prepare a strategy for ESN Austria to organize your work better? Because you also mentioned that there is a lot to handle and a lot to keep up with.
For sure. For sure. No, I definitely want to also take the time to talk to Jess, what plans she had. Also take some of her experience and also my ideas into a strategy. I think it's definitely important. Also like kind of making content plan or just what I want to achieve during my mandate. Yes, I plan to do that actually.
Starting from Iran Olivin, what is your favorite thing about being a communication manager in general?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It sounds really basic, but I just like designing graphics that look aesthetically pleasing, or just like I don't know, doing social media stuff or editing a video. It's also really fun because I don't know, you have like a certain personal autograph in it, and it's kind of like your thing, and nobody else can make it, and so you like, I don't know, post on social media, and it's just, I don't know, just cool.
Dagmar MV. As you know, sometimes you might have to take tasks that are not part of, in quote marks, your job. Are you ready to take tasks that might be related to your position?
Well, if it can be avoided, then maybe, hopefully not, that's gonna be the case. I mean, I was also an event manager for my section, and I was also kind of a partnership manager and doing other work kind of all over the place, so I'm definitely used to it. But again, if there's any chance of this not happening, then I would like to avoid it. But yes.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Right, thank you for your application. Fabian from ESN Austria. What is your opinion on the current social media landscape of ESN Austria? So we're using LinkedIn and Instagram mostly. Do we need to expand to newer platforms, or do you think it's just good the way it is?
That's a very good question. Personally, no. It makes, in my opinion, it makes little sense to like expand to TikTok or whatever. Like, yes, I understand the reason to do it, but at the same time, it's like if you want to focus on many different things at once and not end up doing anything good at all, and then I also need to take it into consideration, like how big, like how many people I have to support me, which in this case is nobody, maybe and see. If that is the case, maybe more than one NC, we can even build a social media together. Maybe that can be taken into consideration, but if I'm in this mandate alone, then I'm only going to do LinkedIn and Instagram.
Thank you. So, Catherine, main chair, what do you think should be the main focus in terms of communication for ESN Austria at the moment? Is it internal representation towards sections with more external, sectional support, or anything else that you have in mind?
Yeah, well, I feel like that with ESN Austria, so this is an account that has 2,000 followers, and those people are mostly people that are part of ESN, not Erasmi. And I feel like that is the target group in general that we should stick with. I know there are more Erasmi than there are members of ESN, but I feel like it should be more of an internal representation. Of course, also like what we do is, it's good to show others. Obviously, if you want to get partners, you also need to represent yourself externally, especially with like maybe, I don't know, social impact weeks, this section is this, or maybe like a section highlight it's definitely an important thing to do because it also helps the section that is being featured. But I think it would be kind of more of a healthy mix between internal and external. But it's kind of all of it in a way. I definitely have to focus on getting more specific with my strategy because, let's be honest, though there's none right now. There is an idea, and that idea needs to be written out and formatted correctly.
Thank you. Before we proceed with the next question, do we expect any other questions? Then I propose to close the speakers list. And also regarding the next question, please do not include the first part of your question in the question because it does not relate to the candidate application about what does make it so special. So please keep on the second part.
Hi, Oliver, I beg to differ. My question is basically, what does Innsbruck have especially that communication managers thrive there? And why did it actually take you this way of Innsbruck and a national communication manager application? The second half with contact we can discuss later if you want.
So what you're essentially asking is, I'm just gonna try and answer this how I think you asked this question.
Just before you ask, I meant that you need to keep the part of the question, do you have any contact with former communication managers from ESN Innsbruck?
Yeah, and I differ. Sorry, it's my question.
Do you understand what you answer?
Kind of, I will try. And I'll be sure. I don't have... May I answer? Yes. So I have only contact with Bea, who is here right now. She is the former communication manager. And I don't know exactly, I mean, Innsbruck is special because I guess there's just a lot of landmarks and there's a lot of it makes it different. But I don't think it has anything to do with me becoming NB. Just like being from Innsbruck and everything. That is the question. Yeah. We can talk later.
Marty is in Innsbruck. Just a little bit on that. Innsbruck has a lot of beautiful nature, and we are very close to Germany, very close to Italy, so it's a very general cultural thing, and a lot of different minded people meet there for various reasons. And they thrive there for various reasons.
Okay, Catherine Mencher, you said that you got inspired from Eastern Germany, being on there, and what, in your opinion, is something that Eastern Austria can take also from other NOs, and you talk to some other NOs apart from Germany?
NOs is national organizations. Yeah. Thank you. I feel like and like that's no criticism against anything that Jess does, no, but it's just like, I feel like there was just more featuring the sections, it just felt more personal, like speaking more to the volunteer. But yes, and also speaks to the volunteer, but I feel like it is in a different way. And what I just liked about Yes in Germany was just that they, I don't know, did a lot with the also members and just like just showing a lot of faces that are, I don't know, just eager to be there. I don't know how to explain it correctly.
Got you. Thank you so much for your presentation and Q&A round. You may take your seat. Wonderful. And now, before the lunch break, we have one last presentation on the NA summer concept. There is also Q&A afterwards.
So thank you. I'm going to present you the concept for the summer NA. That's our concept. We have the concept of Vienna Carnival for the next NA. Just so you know, the sections organizing it will be BFI, Buddy Network, BOCO, and St. Pölten. And yeah, here are the key facts. The location, it will be in Vienna. the hosting will most likely, like we're trying to host everyone with other ESNers to also lower the cost. And the maximum participation fee is set to 80 euros, but we will try our best to keep it lower than that. And for the date, at the moment, we already have rooms booked for the 10th to the 12th of July. Yeah, that's what we have so far. The rooms will be booked at TU3. Those would be the rooms. And yeah, I mean, that's just very short. I think you're all hungry, so try to keep short. If you have any questions, please tell me.
Thank you so much. If you have any questions, the slide is open for them.
Hi, Sasha, BKW. Yeah, my question is what kind of a social program would you want to have? Meaning places, types of activities, all that. You don't have to go super into detail, but just do you have any ideas on that already?
Celine, yes, it's important. So far, we don't have anything planned yet, and I will also not be the person responsible for that. Based on past amazing, and I guess we will also do some partying. I would really like you if we have some quizzes and some games, but I can't promise anything as I'm not going to do that part and we don't know yet.
Anna and Yvonne, why did you choose the carnival for July?
Good question. I don't know, because it looked fun.
Kata is in BKW, so considering the previous NA in Vienna that happened in November, do you think that the participation fee would become lower eventually since people are hosting, so there's no need for hostels?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it will be lower than 80 euros. Can't promise anything. I also don't think it will be as low as last time with the 17 euros that we had due to the fund. But yeah, we will try our best to keep it as low as possible and keep you updated as soon as we know a fixed participation fee.
Just a comment, Fabian, yes, in Austria. As I said in my updates, we have money that was promised to us by BEO that we can use for national assemblies, but this will depend on the next national board, how they plan to spend this money. So it's a possibility, but there are also other factors involved.
Marianne Univi, when will you decide on the final date?
As soon as possible. So I can't tell you a date when we say yeah, it will be this date. Yeah, the date that I told you is the one where we already have rooms booked fixed now. Yeah, it might just be like some discussion if there are, like, since it's already during the vacation time, if enough people are still here in Austria, so we still have to talk about that. If earlier dates would also be an option, but we want to decide it as soon as possible.
Thank you. Andrew, do you have the assigned hosting members already for the organization of your national assembly?
Not fully, like we're starting to get members from St. Pölten. We're now 4 people who are willing to OC. Bogo said there are 2, and from BFI and by the network, I think so far there are only the presidents. Yeah.
Do we expect any other questions? Then I propose to close the speakers list.
Hi, Victoria from E17. where in the part, also in the social program maybe, or during the NA, do you plan to implicate the team?
Also depends on the people responsible for the different tasks, but I think it would be very cool to especially implement it in the social program, like a carnival party or something like that. Also maybe dressing up would be fun, and also definitely in the design and the details we still have to think about.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your presentation. And tomorrow the decision will be made with the grand that's happening tomorrow. And now we have a last part. So we're going to have lunch and picture time. Before you move, I would like MP responsible for the picture to explain to you where we're taking the picture, because we first take the picture and then you have your lunch and enjoy your time on the sun. And you need to be back at 2:05 sharp.
Basically, we're gonna just follow Pandora outside. We will take a picture outside. And so yeah, just follow us now, and we will do it as fast as possible so we can go on lunch.
So for the lunch, wait. For the lunch, it's going to be served in the same room where coffee break is. And then you can take your portion and go outside and eat your food there, or here, or anywhere you want. Any questions?
No.
Then
So we are on.
But first we start with the quorum check. So get your voting devices ready. If you see someone missing from both delegates, please find them ASAP. Someone from East and Salzburg, specifically. Okay. So, quorum check. Isan Vipavina, Isan Boku. Isan Tag Network. Isan Team Verka. Isan Innsbruck. Isan Klagenburg. Isan Buchstein. Isan Linz. Isan Salzburg. Isan Salzburg. Technikum Wien. Theograz, Unigraz, and Univi. Beautiful. So we're continuing with the MV applications, and we have now the applications for Secretary General. We're going to have two presentations, so they're going to have also the joint Q&A. And the first, we have Anna. So each of you are going to have around 7 minutes for the presentation.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, hello everyone. I am applying as Secretary General. If you don't know me, I'm Anna. I studied in ESA Klagenfurt and I moved to Vienna, and now I've been in Wien for quite some time. I was the communication manager of Wien in the term 24-25. I'm associate for the third time now, and I was also welcome with OC last semester. And now I'm a member of ComCom, which, if you don't know, is an international communications team. Yes, that's my ESN experience, but I also have other experience. I did a bachelor in media communications. Now I finished my master last week in marketing with a focus on with a focus on tourism and service management. And my thesis actually was about how to improve delegate experience in international events, which I think is quite fitting for ESN. And I also interviewed many ESNers in this case. And I attended several in already. I went to EGM, I went to community meetings in Porto last time. I couldn't go this time because of my exam, it was in the same week. I was also at ZAP, and yes, I'm hoping to attend many more events, which is why I'm applying for this position. Why did I come to this conclusion? Because as you can see, I'm usually more communication focused. But I was talking to Jitin in the beginning, and she actually recommended for me, if I want to see more international events, to apply for this position. And then I also talked to Dagmar, and she also told me about what needs to be done, and it also suited my interest. So I wanted to make a switch from communications to Secretary General. Also in general, I want to attend more international events and also lead our delegation. Especially for my thesis, I would say I have quite some experience now on what it needs to have for our delegation to be happy. I finished my studies, so local board is not really my position anymore, I would say, because I'm not a student anymore. Also, I'm a freelancer from next month, so I don't have a full-time job, which means I have some time. Yes, I also support the national board, so I think my skills are also varied. So if there's needs to be communication support, I can do communication support. If there needs to be like some VP tasks or president tasks, I can also speak with partners, for example. Yes, I would like to do some networking. One example is Toa from Czech Republic, which is our buddy country. I am consistently in contact with him for some time, and we are both motivated to kind of get our buddy partnership going again. Yes, and then I want to put my experiences into practice and also grow in another field besides communications. Yes, here you can also see Herman because he's not here today. But yes, I'm motivated to put in the time and also the energy to lead our delegation in a good way and to make sure everyone is happy. Thank you.
So, can I ask the second candidate to come from Anna?
So, hi guys, my name is Anna. So shortly about me, I'm from Hungary. I moved to Vienna nearly 4 years ago after I finished high school. I finished my bachelor's degree last year at BFI, and I am currently doing my master's at IMC Krems in International Business and Economic Diplomacy. I did my Erasmus in Madrid 2 years ago, and I have experience with a bunch of tools that we use in ESN, or is a coding language that we don't use in ESN, but I just learned it recently, so I felt like I might as well mention it because it was not easy. My ESN experience, I started 3 years ago as a member of the communication team at BFI. Then for a year I was vice president of BFI, and at the same time I was communication coordinator of ESN Vienna, and currently I am communication manager of ESN Vienna and national PR coordinator. Then some events I attended for Austrian NAs, EGM and Poland last year. I was international guest at the national platform of ESN Italy in September. And I recently, 2 weeks ago, went to the community meetings in Tallinn. Yes. What is my main motivation? Trying something else after communication. And also after EGM, I was really motivated to go to more international events and meet more people from other countries. Also the internal representation, being in touch with ESN International. 2 weeks ago in Tallinn I met some members of the international board, and it was really interesting to talk to them. So that would be like super interesting for me to talk more to them and learn more about how it works between the national levels and the international board. Yeah, so learning more and the international aspect of the position. My plans for the mandate, I wanted to mention my availability. So my studies are part-time. I only have classes 2 days a week, and I am currently not working since October. I will probably start working again from the summer, but most likely part-time. And I am not planning to have another position if I get this one. At the same time, I'm also planning to be delegation leader for CEP and EGM, as it is in the class description for the position, but I know this has been delegated before. So as of right now, I have no plans to delegate this task. I will do it myself. And I was thinking about restarting the monthly newsletter with important updates from the national and international level, because this used to exist in the past, but now it doesn't. And I would also like to encourage people from just the local sections to participate in more international NAs, because it's pretty easy to get a spot for these events. And this is like one of the international possibilities that you don't really have to be in like a higher position for to be able to get a spot easily. And I want to revise the point system for international events, especially the part about the points that the sections get for the events. So that would be the main thing that I would probably start with. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So now I would also ask Anna to come back to the front. You're going to have a joint Q&A, which means the Slido is on, so you can start asking the questions. Please state name and section, and also refer if this is a question to both candidates or to one of the candidates. And then in case you can ask questions to both, then you can also switch to answer first and second. And also try to keep your answers within 1 minute.
Oliver is in Germany. To Anna, what is something that you want to implement or improve when you're getting elected in your mandate?
Yes. So, since I haven't been in the NG before, so I don't have that many touch points with the position in general. I just have as a GM, so I saw our point system. So first, I would like to, also like offer this, to do the first point system together for CEP, to see how it really works, and then I would like to make some changes, if applicable. First, I need to see how it works to make some changes.
Sophie?
Sophie, Body Network, not Regions Austria, I don't know how to change it. Hannah, what is your plan for revising the point system?
So obviously I would like to consult Dagmar first, because she has this position now. And I would also ask, for example, Jitin, because he also had this position before me. It would be nice to also consult the sections and ask their opinion. Maybe start like a little working group with the past Secretary Generals. I think that would be the best way to do it, to ask really everyone's opinion to make it as fair as possible for the sections.
So Dagmar, MD, my question is for Hannah. How do you think being in the national level this year benefits you for having a position?
I think even though I was not at most of the NB meetings, but of course as coordinator I was allowed to join the NB meetings, I had a lot of insight about how the NB works and what the main tasks are, and I think that's really useful to know already in advance.
Oliver is in Germany. Johanna, how do you want to encourage people to participate in international NAs exactly?
The first thing, how I started going to international NAs, was joining the mailing list for international events, and I think most people, especially the newer people, don't know that this exists. So, I don't know, for example, I could send out an email or like invite people to this channel on Slack, if I can convince people to use Slack, because that's sometimes difficult. And I could also make regular updates on Slack about the upcoming international NAs and just update people if there's like an application deadline, like things that they can go to, just keep them in the loop and keep reminding them that they can go to these things.
Before we go to the next question, are there more questions expected?
Yeah.
Victoria?
Hi, Victoria, ESND. I have more one fun question. What are you most excited to possibly experience during the mandate? For both.
Yes, so I think what I would really like to do or to improve is the country situation, which is not the main task, but I think it's also an important task. And also encourage people from Austria to go to Czech events, for example, because it's good to have a connection.
For me, I would say TEP, because I have never been to TEP in my 3 years in ESN. For some reason, I always have some unithing or something at the same time. And of course, seeing it as the delegation leader is obviously a different perspective. So I'm also really curious how that works and how the organization goes behind that.
To me as an Austrian, this is a question to both of you. As you are applying for a position, so currently we don't have applications for president, vice president, event manager, so it's basically half the board. The question is like, what are you expecting, or what's your guess on the amount of board work that you're gonna have to be doing in your position compared to the position specific work that's expected of you?
Yes, I already said this in my presentation. I think my skills are spread. So I don't have a problem with doing some other tasks or something. Should I stop there?
Continue.
Okay. Yes, and it has to happen this way. I mean, I don't want to organize apps as student manager, I have to be honest. But yes, I can present to organizations, I can write for sponsors, I can do multiple things.
Okay, there was procedure.
The Slido is, I guess, sorted by popular and not recent.
I figured that out, thank you. Another procedure? Okay.
Okay, so still Jitin's question. Good question. I really hope the board will be complete. So on the board workload, I cannot really guess right now because I'm hoping for more applications for the other 3 positions. For the position-specific workload, from what I talked to about with Dagmar, I think for me it would be manageable. Like if she managed to do it with full-time work, I think right now being unemployed, we have the time to do it.
Okay, wait, the next question. The next question is actually from Oliver. Because now we changed the sorting. So it's not going to for popular, it's just Peter needs to refresh the page. Wait. Sorry, one moment. The next question is from Dasha from Univin 200.
Yeah.
Did you read it?
Which one actually? Because I have 2 questions.
Do you plan to combine your coordinator position in ESN Vienna Communications and in NB, or to choose only one?
Yeah, this is a question to Han.
Good question. Well, my mandate for ESN Vienna ends at the end of June, so there will be a 2-month overlap between the 2 positions, but usually the end of the semester is not the busiest part for ESN Vienna. So I think I would manage to do both at the same time for those 2 months, and after that I am not planning to continue in the Vienna board.
Okay, thank you.
The next question is from Oliver.
They are already asked.
Yes, I know.
I'm really sorry. I don't know. This is oldest, and this is what it says. That's not
Scroll down. Because
You can tick them off. They already asked. But you must be.
Yeah, give us one moment. We need to figure out. Because I can only sort by recent
Oh.
and by popular. So if you keep on all this, then it goes this way. This is not by recent. So I need to go this way. So that was Sasha, right? Okay. Okay. Sorry for this confusion. The next question is from Sasha.
It was already answered.
It's answered.
This is already
Oliver had the same one.
Okay. Then the question from Mario.
Mario, Oliver, to both of you. What is one quality you appreciate in the other person?
That's a hard question. We have never really worked together. We never really had the chance to work together. We hung out at EGM last year a bit, but I think that was most of our interaction. So we don't know each other super well, but from my experience at EGM, Anna was a very easygoing person, and she's really nice to just be around and hang out with. From a work perspective, I cannot see anything.
There is a
yeah, Marta is a question, make a comment. Maybe he thought about the work or the presentation of each other, or no?
Yes, I think because we come from a similar standpoint, I guess, both from communications. I can say this from what I saw from the past that she's very hardworking because she always had some kind of work position going on. I think that's very respectful.
Marta?
Yes. Marta, yes, in Croatia. For both, how would you handle members that do not follow the rules during the national events like EGM and TEP? And would you make some move?
I think there already are some rules as far as I know. But something that is very important for me that I saw personally in Ancona is that you have to be on time. You have to be respectful. Or at least try. Don't skip the whole thing. And if it happens one or two times, I would say, okay, I have you in my view. But if it happens multiple times, then you have to have a talk with the person and then in the end, points for the next time, I would say.
I honestly completely agree. So obviously there are already rules. I would first talk to Dagmar, like exactly what kind of rules she had. I would think if I would change anything. Right now I don't know her rules, so I don't know if I would change anything. But from what she already told me, I like how she did things. And yes, of course, first you have to try to talk to the people in a nice way and hope that the problems won't keep happening. And then if there's no improvement, obviously there need to be some kind of consequences.
Thank you. Dasha?
Dasha, yes, I'm Levin. The question is to Anna. I just thought that you're quite active in the section level and just on the higher levels as well. And I just wanted to ask if you have any experience of being a delegation leader, but not only as a member, because Hannah mentioned that she was once, and I just want to know about your experience. You told that you've been on EGM, I guess, something like that. Delegation.
Just a participant, so same as Anna.
I don't have any specific experience of being delegation leader. I guess the closest is the Alps OC, because you also have to organize the hotel, the bus, not the buses, but you have to make sure that they exist and to make sure that everything's planned. So I think it's mostly similar to that.
Thank you.
both of you, would you be open to take another or apply for another ND position if you won't be elected this weekend?
You mean for this term?
Yeah, like since there are two more positions who don't have any positions.
I think for me, not really, because as I said, event managers, I've been taught 3 times and enough to organize it. And also I think for vice president or president, I don't have the capabilities yet, I would say. I think you should start in another position and then move up in the ideal case.
I would definitely consider it, but not event manager because I don't know how to ski. I think that's a useful knowledge to have for us. So I would consider it either that or a coordinator position again.
Great. So there are no more questions in Slido. I propose to close the speakers list. Any objections? Wonderful. Thank you so much for your contributions. With the next point in our agenda. So the next point in the agenda is the withdrawal of the proposal that was. So yesterday you voted in to add an EPP proposal to the agenda. However, you received an email yesterday evening from the NB about the withdrawal of this proposal, and this is why the NB would like to do a statement on this.
So yeah, the new proposal, you have already read both of them. One was about the participant spots and the deadline on when to return it. And the other one is about the deadline for the OC election trials. The motivation still stays. We will bring in the proposal again, hopefully for the next NA. But as the proposal was aware, we got feedback, especially from the AD, that they cannot be voted as they are, that we need to rephrase them and make them more clear. Because if we discuss them as they are right now, that would lead to more confusion. So we decided that we withdraw it and let's say clean it up better, and also bring it up for more discussion and bring it up for discussion and voting next time, because that would avoid a lot of confusion. Yeah, that's basically it. Thanks. Any questions? Or?
Do you have any questions? So basically this means that tomorrow during the voting you will not have any question on this proposal included. Thank you. But before we continue, can you show the agenda very quickly? We have also a proposal from the agenda change from the National Board on the amendment. So basically, one of the questions for the voting tomorrow is going to be if you accept the minutes of the previous NA in Vienna. And after the review of the minutes, it turned out that there were some discrepancies, information missing, but this the NB will tell you later, because now we need to vote if you agree on adding into the agenda the amendment on the minutes of the NA Vienna. So if you vote this in, and we'll show you the agenda, I will show you where we put it, and it's going to take like 5 minutes. Can you show the agenda? So, can you come down a bit? So basically, the proposal is that we add into the agenda the amendment to the minutes of the NA Vienna after the application of treasure, which the amendment will take probably a couple of minutes, so that then we can explain to you what happened, what it means, and what you need to do afterward. Does it make sense? Okay. So, can I ask scrutinizers to come? So do you accept adding the amendment to the minutes of the NA Vienna into the agenda? If yes, please raise your voting devices. Thank you. Thank you as well. Then we're going to adjust the agenda. And the next point is going to be the section consultation on legal changes and governance topics, handled by the President of Eastern Austria.
Thank you. We will be having 3 topics. Please, my fellow members, for supporting me with that. So I brought up the section consultation that we can, in a sense, also brainstorm a little bit with all of you together and combine our efforts. The idea is to take what we are doing here at the section consultation and try to bring it into legal proposals that would come hopefully at NA Vienna. The topics that we are going to have, one of them, first one is point system. That's been a topic for a long time, so I would like to bring this up on this space that we have everybody here to brainstorm on a couple of topics. We have prepared some flip charts for that, and we'll be splitting up ourselves into groups, seeing similar to the NBC updates we did before with the ROMs. And the point system will be moderated by Dagmar. The other topic that we have there is local bots onboarding. The goal of that is like how to onboard newly voted in or elected local boards to the Eastern Austria structure, or like the first call, first explanation. So you can bring in from your side and perspective what's maybe missing and what's needed, and so you can put your input there, so you can put the process there, for example. That would be moderated by Fabian. And then the third one is a candidate section onboarding. As you already seen, we had Edison Yoga, for example, apply last year, and the section that was onboarded before that was, for example, Salzburg in 2022. We don't have any document or a defined process on the onboarding itself, so the idea is here also to collect points and make a document or a process that can maybe put in place that can be used multiple times afterwards for onboarding a new section. This time we have been a bit in the dark on how to do this. That will be moderated by me, and I also prepared the charts. For this, I'm going to split everyone again, as you already know, according to experience. But this time I'm going to mix the experiences so that you can, so that the workshop or this module works the best way. It's also the same. You're going to use this room, the room right behind, and the room after. Here, it's going to be starting with the group of mine. Second group in the first workshop room is going to be Dagmar with the point system, and the room after is Fabian. And this time, it's also again us rotating the rooms, so you stay in the rooms, right? And I will ask you again to do the same energizer routine you did before. As in like, yeah, new members here, most experience over there.
Yeah. Marie lost her phone. That's outside.
Please take your seats. only 3 more hours. But we passed the meeting.
Okay, I just want to give them the info that they can still put points on the 3 months.
Okay, thank you everyone. I'm very happy to see that there is so much engagement in all of the discussions. I hope you also enjoyed it. And if you enjoyed it as much, so much that you want to continue, you can continue, not now. We are going to keep the flip charts presented over there. Like you have the point system one over there, and the look board and the candidate section onboarding flip charts over there. So during the break or when something comes to your mind, you can go ahead and put it down there if you want. Or you can also read up on what everybody has been discussing in the summaries of what's going on. So we will use that until the end of the NA. So anything comes to your mind, you still have something in your mind, during discussions, if something comes to your mind, go ahead and place it there. So thank you very much for all of this input. We'll try to take it in for proposed assessment.
Thank you. And we're going on with the agenda, and the next point is ALPS, March 2026 delayed OC election statement by the National Board.
Name section.
Name section and excuse.
Are you?
So this one is just a small information for you, as most of you have already heard. We have in our National Event Policy paper, the NEP, stated the deadline until when the OC has to be elected. If they are not elected within that deadline, as I think it's 4 months before the event itself is happening. If the OC is not elected 4 months before the date that's fixed, right, then the event has to be cancelled. So that's what's written in the legal document. This IRIS that's happening in March, we are actually past that deadline with the OC election. So we would have had to cancel it, but we decided within the NB and made a NB vote on having a shorter deadline, that we elect the OC afterwards, after this deadline, and still keep IRIS as an event. This was voted within the National Board, so this is information for you that we did it. If there is any objection to this, it's open to the National Assembly to renew this decision by the NB. So that's why we are doing the statement that you are aware about this. Any questions or comments?
Thank you. That was not supposed to be.
Okay.
Questions after.
Questions in the coffee break. Thank you.
If you would like to ask questions, please approach National Board after, during the coffee break. And we're going to continue with the project fund application. So I'll answer the pipeline. You're going to have a Q&A session after this presentation in case.
I'm going to be really quick.
Okay, so karaoke kind of took my voice yesterday, so I'm going to keep it very short. My name is Kata, my section is ESNF in BKP, but today I'm here as basically from Fanta 4. If you don't know what Fanta 4 means, it's a section collaboration in Vienna in the 4 smaller sections. So ESNF in BKP, ESN BFI, ESN POPU, and ESN Technicum. And we would like to do a charity event, which is why we applied for the project fund this summer. So, the main idea is a charity event with networking that contributes to a good cause. So this would be for all 4 universities. Ideally, we would also involve UH to involve local people more. Yeah, just basically a networking event in a more informal context. So it's a bit more chill than something really formal. Now, is this doable? Yes, we have done this on a local section level before with VKB back in November when we had 2 events in a row, one salsa event and then one Punschland essentially with our rehab, where we managed to raise 600 euros for children's cancer research. So this is what we would like to repeat, maybe with a different charity and also on a bigger scale, which is why we're joining forces with 3 other sections, as well as maybe involving our rehab. Yeah. So since the event hasn't happened yet, I only have a provisional cost calculation. So these are just ideas which also can change based on where the event is taking place, how it's going to happen. Because for example, regarding cups, we can make it a bit more sustainable. We at VKB have like reusable cups that we can use, stuff like that. Now, which ESN causes are relevant for this event? Social inclusion, education and youth, and culture. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, thank you, and I can't wait for your questions.
Thank you so much. So the slide hearing is open. I'm going to ask you now, do we expect any questions? We do not expect any questions, which means that we can speak.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your efficiency.
And this brings us to the next point of the agenda, which is the National Board Application Tracker. This is an online presentation. So the candidate is going to be presented online. Is it candidate there? So it's going to work the same way as it was with the AB application.
Hi.
Hello.
Could you say something again, please?
No. Yes. Can you hear me? Yes. Do you hear us? I hear you. Okay. Wonderful. So we're going to have your application. Well, everyone's here. They see you. Hello. Yes. And then afterwards, you're going to have a Q&A session. You're going to see the questions on this, well, on your screen. But we will need every person who has a question to still speak it up in the room. Okay? Sure. Great. Then, do you want to share the screen for the presentation? I will share it. Wait a second. Wait, I'm not sure if you... So we're going to have 10 minutes, but I'm going to write in the chat and we have 2 and 1 minute in case you see it. Okay? Sure. I hope you can see everything now. Yes, so I'm going to ask everyone in the room to be respectful, to listen closely, and not to leave the room while the presentation is
Okay, hi everyone. Some of you probably know me, some may not necessarily. My name is Victoria, and I'm applying for the position of National Treasurer. Here are some facts about me. I studied at FKB before and I finished my master in executive management. Now I'm doing the second master because what would be life without second master? I'm doing master in international business and economic diplomacy, which I think is pretty much relevant also to what we have at ESN. I'm working as well as business development manager. I'm working in automotive sector already for like 3 years, and somehow like I keep staying in the same sector. I also did my exchange semester in Vienna, and I'm one of those comeback stories. So after my exchange semester, I decided to come back and start my master and also join ESN because I had a lot of good memories with ESM during my exchange semester, and I already knew some people, so that was my main goal. When it comes to my ESM career, I've been treasurer of my local section for a few months, and then I proceeded as a president of my section for another year. In the meantime, I was also treasurer of ESM Vienna, and I'm still treasurer of ESM Vienna. And I've been active member since September 2023. I joined NA in Graz, EGM at Kona last year, and also I was helping out at NA in November. So that was my ESM career. So now let's go to motivation. As you can see, I have already some experience as treasurer, both at local level and Vienna level. They both can differ, and I already know the differences, and I know like what's relevant for local sections, what's relevant for Vienna. I also had a meeting with Fabian, so I know more or less what are the goals for ES and Austria in this case. I have good understanding of treasurer's test. I also know the challenges that local sections are facing currently, and that's also motivation for me to try to help them and keep members motivated, which is, I understand, is really difficult because we have a lot of people who are experienced and they are leaving, and now we have more people who don't have necessarily the knowledge, and we just have to find solutions to keep it up and to pass on the knowledge. And also I would like to have a bigger impact, that's why I keep moving forward. And lastly, what are plans for my mandate? First of all, I would like to strengthen support for local sections. I'm already having some ideas, and one of them is connecting ESN Vienna and ESN Austria, and we're currently in progress of creating workshops to help sections with recruitment and also onboarding. But also I would like to introduce it on like Austria level. I would also like to build a closer cooperation with local treasurers because I feel like not everyone has the same level of knowledge, and a lot of people may miss on information about what kind of funds are available, how you can use that. So that would be my main goal, and also promoting the role of treasurer, because it's everyone who was a treasurer, they know how nice the role is, but still a lot of people are afraid of being treasurer for some reason. I think it's because of the finance, but it's pretty basic finance, so it's much easier than anyone can think. And yes, I would like to provide guidance, as I mentioned, to local treasurers, and have a group chat where we could exchange information, help each other out. Also, my goal would be to make ESN Austria and also local sections more visible. And lastly, to create a space for ideas. I'm always open for your suggestions, so that's why I would like to have like a pool of different ideas that we can try to come up with a new solution. So yeah, that would be it from my side, and I'm looking forward to your questions.
Thank you so much. So now, can we put the slider on? So you're going to see the questions on the slider. We're going to people also say out loud their question as well. Do we expect any questions? Okay, so we already have the first one. Do you see the questions as well?
I see.
Okay, good. Oliver?
Oliver is in Germany. What do you think about the proposed budget that Fabian proposed today for your mandate? Is that something that you already
know for now like what I should change or not, because we all know budget may change due to different circumstances and different ideas. I've been also having a budget for ESN Vienna, and well, sometimes we have ideas for new parties, new events, new team buildings, and then we keep updating it every single time. So for now, I would need to see how much of it actually we're gonna use, because I haven't been in ESN Austria before, so I don't know how much of the funds are needed for each of the proposed activity, and it may happen that it turned out that for something we need more funds. So for now, I wouldn't change anything. I would just see with the time and with the ideas how we can adjust the budget.
Thank you. Marty?
Marty is in Innsbruck. How would you like, as future national board treasurer, to make local boards more visible, as you said?
First of all, I have an idea. I don't know if that would be something that local sections would be apt to, but since I'm studying economic diplomacy, I thought of using this privilege and try to connect with different public institutions and join different type of events. Like I think a few years ago there was a sort of event that I don't know if we were representing ESN Vienna or ESN Austria or just local sections, but there were a lot of different companies and institutions, organizations, and I think it's a nice way to become more visible. Yet also we need more visibility to local students. This is at least the problem we have in my local section, that many students don't know about us, and this is something we would need to change. Maybe through like when we have like the career day or something to present the section. That would be an idea.
Thank you.
Kata is in WKW. You mentioned that you would like to improve communication with local treasurers. Do you have a plan on how you would do that?
Yes, I was already thinking that I would first reach out to each of them individually and listen to their particular situation in their respective sections. I would like to create a community on WhatsApp, because I know that Slack is not necessarily working. And start with organizing a short meeting to maybe present what we can offer as ESN Austria, because I think this knowledge is missing. Like we were seeing in previous years that not too many sections were applying for project funds, and maybe that would be also an option to show how they can use funds. So that would be my main goal, to establish this community there, and also have like the open space whenever they need guidance or any sort of advice. I would like to just make everyone feel free to like exchange their issues, ideas, whatever.
Okay, thank you. Before we go to the next question, are there any other questions expected? Then I propose to close the speakers list. Any objections? The speaker list is closed. Oliver?
Oliver is in Germany. Some of the goals that you mentioned are more in the task area for other MD positions, for example, improve like onboarding, recruitment. How will you handle that if it's in the position of like another MD?
Okay, the thing is that currently we have very specific situation in NB, since not all the positions are filled. I also know for a fact that many sections struggle with their own issues, and I think that should be the main focus of ours. And also Fabian was so grateful, so great as a treasurer, that he I'll make every single process very easy, and like there is not much to improve as a treasurer because it's always about money. Of course, I can create more funds, more opportunities to apply for, yet I would like to also focus on trying to help local sections, because without local sections we are not able to really exist as ESN. That's why I'm also putting myself in a situation of what I could do for the sections, what do they need. Yeah, that would be my answer to that. And also as a board member, I also have the possibility to change something and decide on that.
Does that answer your question? Wonderful. Then there are no more questions. Thank you so much for your presentation. We wish you a great
Thank you.
ahead. Say bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Enjoy.
Thank you, enjoy. Bye bye.
Okay, great. So we officially completed all the NB and AB applications for today. So from now on, the agenda is going to be more fun in a way.
Yes.
Yay.
This is fun.
Anyway, I would like to ask President to present the amendment to the minutes of the NABN.
It's okay. It's included in the It's not the presentation presented, so you can move.
So everyone, pretty sure we have already looked at the minutes of last NA Vienna in November, and it seems we got the feedback that one participant who was there was not noted down in the minutes. So we corrected that. So we added the participant who was there actually, and now I will be sending an email out with an amendment to the minutes that we already have proposed for. So we are going to vote tomorrow on adding this change to the document that we are going to vote. There will be a short explanation on how the amendment to a document and the voting on that works. It's a bit confusing, so you're going to see some cats and dogs tomorrow, and Fabio will present. So that's basically the info. Email.
Do you have any questions? Did you get the point? The amendment to the minutes? Great. Okay, thank you so much. Then we can get back to the presentation. Because now we're going to have a coffee break, and right after you're going to have a workshop. So I will kindly ask the workshop holding procedure.
I will say something afterwards.
Okay, I would like to ask the workshop holders to stand up. So Alice, Fabian, and Justine. So these are the facilitators. I hope you figured out which workshop you're going to. So you have 2 rooms for the workshops. I'm saying this now because you don't need to come back to this room. You can go after your coffee break directly to the workshop rooms. For data privacy laws and the implications, it's room number 18. It's here, all of them are here. And for the Slack workshop, it's room number 19. So you're gonna have the coffee break for 30 minutes. And then at 4:30, you're gonna start with the workshops. And you need to be back here 5:35. Sharp. Do you have any questions? No. Then before you go.
Yes, as we already wrote in the WhatsApp group, I will be handing out ESN cards. So I wrote the sections in the group that I have the ESN cards from. Please, I will be sitting right here. Come here and pick them up.
You're afraid to go.
And the microphone. No, and the mic. That's what
Amazing. Please take your seats, and we're going to go to the last block of our agenda. How are you all doing? That's more energy than in the morning. This means that the workshops went great. I'm very happy to hear that. So we will proceed with the agenda, and the next point in the agenda is the update of the candidate section. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Leo.
Maybe it's run out of battery. It's red? Then it's. I have batteries.
Okay. Anyway, back to the agenda. Some look back or summary of how the candidacy or the application process and the onboarding process has been. So at the NA, the first NA after our mandate started, which was last year in July, so the summer NA, we had people from Montaigne University in Leon apply as the candidate section. So during the NA in Graz in summer, we accepted them as a candidate section. So from that point on, the onboarding process started, that they build up the structure, find the people, recruit more people, and also try to build up the, let's say, the legal structure and all that stuff, to be applying as a full member of ESN Austria, so becoming a local section of the team. We have been in touch with them. They have been quite responsive, quite motivated and active. They also had a lot of support from the international office. They have given us updates at the NA in Vienna last November. They also joined us there. For example, Marco, he's the main contact person from there, a student. And he also showed what events they have been doing and how engaging the incoming experience and stuff like that. They actually also joined in during the national training event last year in May, so before getting the candidate section status, because they already had applied and we were already in talks. But since the last NA in November, we haven't had the chance to get in touch with them, or not the chance, but we didn't get the moment to pick up the conversation. And also, since the whole process, since July last year, since the NA in summer, we have been also struggling as the national board in figuring out how the onboarding process for a new section works, because we don't have a given process defined, or like what needs to be done to make sure that we have checked off all of the points to be sure that we have done it the right way and that they are prepared. Since the last NA, we have reached out to them again last January after the local, the section care team has been onboarded and we are ready. We invited them to this NA here, and we haven't had a reply from them since 1 to 1.5 months before. So that means we don't have contact with them anymore. So they're not replying. We don't know what the reason is. Yeah, that's something where we are a bit lost as the national board in how to proceed with that. But also looking into the future, how things are going to be, probably the best point for them to apply as a full member will be in the summer NA, which is going to be in June or July. That's like in 4 months or 5. Correct me if I'm wrong. During that time, we are also going to have a new national board, where you also have seen that there's going to be vacancies, as it seems. And it's also the transition from the old to the new board, so a lot of information might also get lost. So taking that into account, that we are not, they don't seem to be active for a while now, and also as it seems the resources are quite limited, we are just wanted to give you this update on where we're standing, and we also wanted to give the recommendation maybe it makes sense for us to drop this candidacy as of this point, because we should maybe focus our limited resources on the sections that we already have in making everybody stable enough. And then we can think about growing our Yes in Austria network with new sections. Like there is, except for Newton, also other universities who have reached out to us who also wants to establish a section, but currently from the knowledge that we have and the experience we've had, we are quite limited. That's why also the section consultation on the onboarding process and all of that stuff. So until we have more stabilized within ourselves, it makes more sense to focus on ourselves before we expand. So recommendation for the new board is dropping the candidacy for ESN Leuven so that we actually can give them the proper support that they actually deserve. Not that we are like really lost in time and they pulling them off. Yeah, that's just a recommendation and the summary overview of how the onboarding of ESN Leuven, the candidate section has been.
You can ask questions if you want. So we have a Q&A also for that. But in case there are questions, then we need to use the slide. Okay. Yes? Yes.
Oliver is in Germany. What is the process of dropping them as a candidate section?
No, we don't have anything stated as a process for that. So basically, and he's gonna decide if it's gonna be a vote at the end, for example, or how that's gonna be handled, or if it's an ND vote. So there's no statement that I remember of, or on how to offboard it from the process. So there's different knowledge from before, but nothing.
I'm wondering if people have graduated, that's why they're in no contact with education anymore.
Very good question. Probably yes, because I think they have mentioned that also the people who have started it might also be graduating and moving on. So yeah, they also said that one of the struggles were finding new people who can take it up, right? So.
Rashi is in Frankfurt. How long after being dropped as a candidate section can they apply again for the candidacy?
No limits defined for that. There's only the time limit if you expel a section. There is a deadline until when they have to wait to reapply again, but not for the candidacy.
Oliver is in Germany. Like as far as I got it, there isn't a time limit on the candidacy section status. Then why do you want to drop them first? They magically at some point communicate again with you, and then they have to reply. Why don't you just extend the candidate status then?
So how the process basically works, is the part that's defined, is that if a section university, whoever is interested in becoming a section, they have to state that interest to the national board, and the national board decides, and at the next national assembly, they get voted if we give them the candidate section status. And then what it defines is that at the national assembly, I think there's time until when they can, like the next one or the one after that, they can apply for full membership. That's basically the process that we have. Keeping the candidate section status is not recommendable, as in like keeping the knowledge and experience with the people. As in like the MB right now is gonna move out, so there's gonna be a lot of knowledge that can be lost if it's not properly documented, and also from their side there might be changes. So keeping it in a half-done state might lead to more problems down the line because of misunderstandings and mismanagement. So it's better to start.
Rashi is in Frankfurt. Do they have to go through the whole process of candidacy again if they apply, like they applied for the candidate section last July, and they have until this July, that's basically a year. Do they have to go through the whole process again if they reapply?
So if in July, whatever the new national board decides on how to handle this. If they decide, okay, we want to drop it, and if there's a vote in July that we drop the candidacy process, then after that they would have to state again their interest, and at the National Assembly areas, I guess next autumn, like in November, they will start the process again. That means National Assembly votes candidates into status, onboarding starts.
Okay, there are no more questions. I propose to close the speakers list. Any objections? No, the speakers list is closed. Thank you, Gigi. So now we're going to move to the next part, which is international guest presentations, because we have plenty of international guests with this evening, and they really want to tell you and share some information about their NOs. So maybe you would like to pay them a visit as well, or join their national event. So I would ask all the international guests to come in front. Yes, because basically, well, you see there are three of them, and I'm not joining Germany because there are already two beautiful representatives. And Bittu will join later, so it should take minutes. So I put an order of the presentations. So we have Croatia, then Germany, Poland, Turkey, and then Hungary and Finland. So I think it makes sense if you just stand here. They will also have a Q&A, so you can also ask them questions afterwards, but then you will really need to state which country you are asking. Please. And please not through all of them. Okay, so you're getting the mic and the clicker. We allocated about 5 minutes per presentation.
Can I start? Okay, first I'm going to bribe you with sweets so you don't listen to me. This is my goal. Yeah, of course. So, hi, I'm Marta Rava. I'm the national representative of ES in Croatia. So I'm going to keep it short. Some of you already met me on your NA in Graz or in NA in Vienna, so I did this presentation, but I'm going to go through it again. We have 8 local sections. We elected a new one last year. So, this is our beautiful national board. So we are almost a full board. We don't have a president, but we didn't have a president also last year, so who needs a president? But we do have all the other members. Actually, the treasurer was elected a month ago. This is our lovely board support. So they are the support structures for our national board. You can read there. Okay. We're also busy one member. So we have, these are the data from the section questionnaires. Are they accurate? Let's hope so. But we have registered 282 registered volunteers, which is 56% increase since last year. I would say that most of it is because of EGM. Spoiler, we're going to see EGM, sorry. I can see that all the sections really tried and put their work to get all the best of the best volunteers so they can help out the sections. We have over 200,000 incoming students from last year. We have 2 NAs a year. We have a summer one, a lecture one that's coming up in May. So if you want to come, it will be from 8th to 10th of May in Rijeka. I will send out the invite, don't worry. And the new annual mandate starts in July 1st. So this is our mobility handbook that we are very proud of. So we did a mobility handbook with all the information about every single mobility that's known that you can go to from Croatia. It's on Croatian, it's meant for Croatian students, and we did it as a cooperation with our national agency. So we still promote it, we still print it, we have a digital version. So every student can check it out and see whatever the kind of mobility they want to join.
This is a lovely national event that's coming up also. The sales open up on 9th of March. You can also be a volunteer that already passed that deadline, but if we open it again, I will send it, don't worry. But you can also join as just a person who likes to party in Zurcher. Why not? It's a lovely event. We've had it for like 4 or 5 years now, and everyone loves it all the time. You will get to sleep in an apartment with the pool and everything, a party all day. And we also have yoga and bachata and whatever you can think of, we have it. And we also have the international people in the OC. This is the picture from our last NA in TED. We also from this year have a mascot called Euro. He couldn't come with us because it's too long for travel, but he's right there. This is the national board. As you can see, we had a whole photo shoot. As you may have heard, I don't know, maybe, ES Split has been elected to host the Erasmus Generation Meeting 2026 Split. I am unfortunately or luckily one of the OC members, so if you have any questions, feel free. It's going great. No, where's my? I have 2 more slides.
Not anymore.
Sorry. So ES in Germany.
We're lost for you. It might be.
Crazy. How is the candy?
That's exactly.
Are you distracted? Yes, okay. So ES in Germany.
No, can you update?
What can I tell you about it? It's about Germany.
Yes, that.
No, you're spoiling it. Okay. So, you want a sneak peek on how it is to organize EGM? If you like Google Meet, let me tell you, being in the OC of EGM, yeah, this is my real face. What can I say? We have so many Google meetings. I think me and Google Meet are like best friends now. So yeah, this is a sneak peek. This is Simone, also excited. I have to, where is it? Oh yeah, this. We're so excited. We're so excited. But it's the best pictures I have, like, come on. Thank you for your attention. Yes, in German.
Can we get a second?
Yeah.
Are you going to say?
Yes. No, it's ready.
Okay. Perfect. So, we are from Germany, and unfortunately we didn't brought any sweets, but so you have to listen now. Sorry. So, who are we? I'm Oliver from Essen Dortmund. Wieland is in Düsseldorf. And as you can see, we are have some experience and are more right now in the alumni network and not too much active anymore.
Okay, Essen Germany. We have quite a few sections around. We are divided in 5 regions. Well, east, northwest is quite easy, and then we have southwest and southeast, Aker, Bavaria, Berlin, and so on. And 3 candidate sections have been growing smoothly currently, and yeah, last 2 MAs from Essen Germany took place in the West region. That was quite easy for us, those. You even organized one of those. Go ahead.
So this is our lovely national board. We have a president, 2 vice presidents, a treasurer, a event manager, and a communication manager.
A complete board, yeah. And yeah, we have the B, we have the audit board, cherry team. Well, I didn't want to go too much into detail about this, and another 100, 200 support positions, yeah. Special shout out to our regional coordinators over there, 5 regions, 2 coordinators per region, that makes 10 RCs that organize the sections on the regional level, organizing trips, local platforms, common weekend trips, or come together. Our first point of contact if there are problems in the section or in the region. It's a really nice support structure. We can both confirm or say we both did it back in our times. Well, you want to go ahead? No.
Yeah. So as you can see, there, like this is like all the NCs and also the
national coordinators, liaison officers,
PR team. So, and another thing to point out, we have a permanency, so they also get elected for like a full year, and then they host like or share 3 NAs.
And one slide back, there is soon another ND member, an IT manager, will come back. Just for
So, what's happened in Germany? We have like similar to Austria, 3 NAs a year. Then we have like 2 local platforms per year per region, and 1 national training event for ESNers, the training days. And for international students, we have like Speed Break in Berlin, which always happens in November, which is our national event, and also the national Erasmus Games.
Yeah, here's why you should come. And Spring Break, yeah, party weekend in Berlin with a lot of culture too. We have one of the best factor rates in the network, I would say. Yeah, shortly just awarded at NEGM, one of the best events ever. So yeah, there are a lot of opportunities to go there as volunteer, as international guest, as just come, find a spot, show up, you will enjoy it, promise.
And similar as we are here right now, you can also come to our NAs as an international guest. As you can see, they are a bit bigger, so it's also nice to get some other perspective in the network.
The next NA will take place in Rostock, and the hostel will be close to the seaside, as far as I heard, so might be a convincing argument. Yeah, random pictures of events from all regions. Yeah, this is Oktoberfest, Bavaria, this is Nordsee. This is our Drachenfell site, but traditional event in the West where we gather Erasmus students from 5, 6, 7, 8 sections and climb up the hill with a castle ruin with 200-300 Erasmus students. Nice event. Some party pictures. This looks like the Southwest. I don't know why this picture is chosen.
So, yeah.
Yeah, but you can follow us on Instagram and on LinkedIn.
Hi, it's time for Poland, and first about sweets, the most important. I hope you already tried mine, majority of you, because I know I didn't drink enough during coffee break, I put them. So yeah, but let's meet me first. Sorry for Polish, I didn't follow that much of sharing team hopes. So my name is Zuzia, I'm from Toruń, Poland, and currently I'm studying tourism. I'm a listener since 2020, and I'm active on every level in ESN right now. And it's my first time in Salzburg, but second in Austria. About ESN Poland, we have 27 sections in 12 cities, more than 1,000 volunteers, and incoming students are for sure more than 10,000. And that was also highlighted during the sessions that every national board has like some sections to cooperate, to take care of them, and we try to just avoid, for example, if the people is the same section, like it can be the person who helps. And yeah, Toruń is like almost in the middle. And this is our national board, and yeah, unfortunately, we don't have communication managers, similar to ESN International, so we follow some best practices, but we have a president, vice president, treasurer, and project manager. Soon it will be changed probably, but let's remember this for now. Our structure is pretty huge, I will say. We have some teams, projects, coordinators, and project officer. If you will have any questions, I can talk with you about that later, but I don't want to waste our time. So, but our meetings are quite important. We have 4 national assemblies per year, and on May we have elective one. It will take 4 days. I don't remember in which city, I think Wrocław. So yeah, I hope to see you maybe one day during our NAs. Then we have ESN Kickstart, which is like the training event for new members, then community meetings, similar to ESN International, and Newbies Day. It's online just to meet new volunteers. So yeah, there was EGM split, so in 2027 I hope everyone will go to Wrocław, to Poland, so everything is in set right now, I guess. But let's jump to another topic, like fun fact about me. I used to be networker coordinator, so I just want to speak a little bit about local section, this time mine. We are organizing a lot of Polish and international dinners, karaoke, movie nights, but the most interesting, I will say, is St. Andrew's Day, because it's very traditional day when everyone in Poland wants to become a witch and predict the future, especially for Erasmus students. Yeah, and this is my hometown. It's UNESCO city, gingerbread, so I hope you try. And this is Nikolaus Copernicus, we're very proud of him. Why? Because he's that guy who said, well, actually the sun is in the center and everything is going around. So if you want, you can follow us. We still use it, Facebook, but I think that Instagram is the most relevant. And that's all, thank you.
So, hello everyone. When I'm not vice chair, I am part of ESN Turkey and also ESN International, so I will present you. What happened? I cannot present you. Did I accidentally press the button? Yes. Okay, so I will present you ESN Turkey. It's been a very long time since I'm not doing this presentation because for those who don't know me, I was the national representative last year, so I was doing the same presentation in all countries, in all the international events, so it's always so much fun to do this presentation. So this is me. I'm also an ESN Educate community manager. I'm not only representing ESN Turkey anymore, but I'm also a part of ESN International, one of the support structures. And I will be very happy to talk about Educate tomorrow with Catherine, so stay tuned for that. I'm 27 years old and I'm living in Istanbul. I'm also working as a psychologist, and I was lucky enough to do my Erasmus in Salzburg. That's why I love Salzburg so much. And then my second Erasmus was in Germany. And yeah, I shared that I was the NR and I'm an Educate facilitator, NEC member. Hopefully will retire soon from ESN soon. And fun fact, according to section questionnaire, I had 1,192 children because I was the mom of ESN Turkey. Everyone was calling me mom when I was the national board. So this is something that stayed since then. And about ESN Turkey, we were established in 2005 and legally registered in 2024. We have 39 sections. And 16 of them are in Istanbul, so it's a big amount of sections for a city. And we have so many trainings, events, so many things are happening, so if you are up to visiting Turkey, just let me know. We have different types of trainings, ESN 101, 201, depending on the experience you have in ESN. And we have so many volunteers, as I said, over 1,000 volunteers, so we have to maintain the human resources. We have national events, madness, in the Aegean coast of Turkey, chillness, camping event, Grand Cappadocia trip, if you would like to visit one day. It's happening every semester, so if you miss one, then you can join in the next semester. And we also have national projects, and one that I want to share is, after this, is barriers of mobility. I don't know if you have ever experienced any visa problems, but we are advocating about visa issues in Eastern International, but also for many stakeholders. So if you would like to participate in our survey, we would really appreciate, because we are really needing your support so that we can be the voice of your needs as well. And I think that's all from my side. Thank you. Who's next?
Hi guys, I'm Shara, I'm from Ilsan Szeged, it's in Hungary. Hungary and Szeged is it. And we won the section of the year in 2020, right? And yes, we have so but what I'm doing here, because I'm not a board member, I'm a mentor. I'm a mentor to mentees, and in this semester we started to use the papaya. Before that we used the Excel sheet, and that was our events in February. And I brought here 3 events because we want to focus on events that are helping students to meet each other. So our newest program is Chat Sheet and Chill. It happens every month, and it's really free event, so basically. And we have coffee crawl because we have a crawl, but not everyone drinks alcohol, so we organize a coffee crawl for them. And we focus on tournaments also. We give out prizes for winners. I'm a member of the cultural working group in Szeged, and our biggest event is the international dinner. Basically, everyone brings their own food, the traditional foods, and after that we have a party. And in this the last semester, at the end of the last semester, we had our international ball. The theme was Paris in Wonderland. We worked so much on that. We made every decoration ourselves in the office duties. Yes, we had the party, and we also had like, how do you say? It's like so there were categories, and the international students voted for every category. And that's for the information.
Yes, hi. Will I wait until the thing is?
Tell us what it is in German.
So it is in Germany. Great organization. I've never been to Germany really, other than that. So I can't really talk about it. I've heard it's a nice place. Especially Rostock. They have a sea or something there. Finland is also a great place.
You have seafood?
Yes. Yeah, so you're gonna buckle up for some Finland propaganda now. I wanted to add some slides also about our national organization, but it corrupted the file every single time, so just look at our flag until I talk a bit about ESN Finland in general. There are 16 sections in ESN Finland, and this, nice. And we have about 18 to 20,000 members currently active, or with an ESN card in Finland.
We are, compared to the size of Finland, quite large as an organization, and our national board is almost full. Let's see, in the next NA that we have in 2 weeks, we might have a full national board as well. We're very international, and you're going to see it from this. Whoa, yes. In just a second. In the next slide, after I say this. Very prepared, don't I? That almost every one of the national board members also are half Finnish or something, so that's also pretty cool. And to the Turku propaganda now, buckle up, buckle up. This is our current board, and we are also quite international in the board. This kind of is a trend for Finnish board that it's basically half Finnish and half someone from other countries. The way we work in our section is we have an events team, there's a committee also for them, there are officers that help them, there's a communication team, finances is usually done alone, and you can see how professional we are with the pictures. And then we have the IT manager, Manish, Ali with the supply and partnership manager, our chair, which is also a very international chair. And the star of the show, Herm. Herm has an Instagram account, so you have to follow it in the And just to show you how much we change, we have a lot of change in leadership, but we are also very international from board to board, and you can see quite a lot of change and new faces all around. And all of these people are still active within our section, which we are very proud of, I have to say. And I'm very happy to be working with these lovely, lovely people day to day. So, big question, what the hell am I wearing? So, these are student overalls. Who has been to Finland, by the way, before? Okay, so you might not be as confused as I was expecting, but student overalls. Every student has one, basically. 90-something% of students have one, and the color is marks your faculty. Every color has different, depending on what you study. So within the city, you can see overalls walking around, and they're like, those people study English, those study, I don't know, law and stuff. So it's very cool. And the patches you see, it's very colorful and everything. We get one for each and every event we participate in, and you sew them on. And we have ESL overalls. ESL overalls, that's very cool. So exchange students also get to get overalls from us as well. Some people have that as well. So yes, and each patch tells a unique story. So you go to a bar, you know, I got drunk with this person on this patch. How great is that? So yes. We are, at least our section, very much so into trips. We go many, many places. Recently we have had a very cool visit to the Olkiluoto nuclear power plant as well, which is the largest in Europe, actually. Very cool. We also have our beautiful trips to Lapland. If you have not been to Lapland, come to Lapland. It's a great place. I see some people liking it. And we are the section that does the most trips all around Finland. Oh, by the way, Turku is here, so in case. It's sometimes called the ass of Finland, but yeah. Anyway, it's not. It's the greatest place ever. If you see our Instagram page, I will also have QR code for that. We also have a bunch of trips all over the Nordics, and whoa, that's very pixelated. Well, you see the map anyways. We have trips all over the Nordics. We have ones to Sweden, Norway, and all the Baltic states. We also have one for Iceland, very cool place as well. But that's more of a national event. We also have Pirates of the Baltic Sea, which is a cruise to Stockholm. You get drunk there and you get drunk back. How cool is that? Then you have events on that as well. So, very finished, right? Next one. These are some pictures from our events that I've also participated. We have 6 parties, we have trips to Lapland, we have the Lofoten Islands, you have a picture from there. Northern Lights, hello. This is a reason to go to Lapland and Finland in general. And a lot of fun. Each year we have about 120 to 160 events, so we're also very active. And it stays that way as long as I am in the board. We also have a very unique thing that I was told to definitely talk about. We have the bucket list challenge. So what is the bucket list challenge? Each student with their ESN card, they get this little booklet which has challenges that they should do. And they have to come to us after they have done them, like them in the picture, show us a picture that they did it, and then they get stamps. And once they get stamps, they get the patches for their overalls. So we motivate them to do these things. I kind of cropped in these things, some basic things to see and do in Finland. Of course, seeing deers, going to a sauna, yeah, having overalls and going to Lapland and stuff. So it's very interesting, and people are very motivated to do these these things. These are like our absolute must things to do in Finland, and then you get this very cool patch that you can flex on other people if you have it. So it's a very good thing, very good way to motivate people to participate in events and be active. Next up, we are very active in Finnish events as well, and overall we are very much representing other internationals within the Finnish community. This is a picture from our largest event that Finnish universities have. This is Vappu. This is where about 60,000 people go to the street with their white caps and then they go around the city and get drunk, of course. But also, this is a big student celebration, and there's also a flag parade where ESN is also participating every year, and in every big event, ESN is always there to represent our lovely, lovely exchange students that end up coming to us and not Sweden, for example. So that's great. And that's it for me. Kiitos. And this is very important. Everyone please start scanning. I want to see your phones up and start following, especially Herm, and you can also check out our Instagram page there. Kiitos. Tack.
Thank you so much for your presentations.
Do I give this to someone?
No, we keep it because we now have Q&A round. So the slider is on, or you can ask questions on your phone. Okay, yeah, so you can type in your questions and we already have some. So the first question is from Mario to ESN Germany.
Mario, to ESN Germany. Does Germany actually have plans to get a salaried secretariat, which is the crazy here then?
Not really. It's a problem in Germany that it's quite a big country, and each mandate changes where like the mission board members are from. So there are always talks about it, but like it's very hard. We already have problems with our permanent interest.
Thank you. Dasha?
Dasha, yes, I'm again the question to Turkey, what were the reasons that the legalization process took so long? Because you mentioned that it started in 2004 and 5, and then it took 15 years. And how could it operate before for so long time without legalizing it?
Thank you for the question. This is something that I was also questioning when I was, getting more active in ESN Turkey. First of all, like being registration into an association wasn't really necessary, not in ESN or not in Turkey. So I think it's more about the bureaucratic process of each country. But since the last years, I don't know how many years in ESN, now that area now is prefer to become an association. So we started the process, I think, 5 or 6 years ago. And since then, I think we were trying to become an association. So I wouldn't say that we were trying 20 years, but 5 to 6 years. This is still a very long process, but it also depends on every country's legal situation. So for Turkey, it took so long. And unfortunately, it's just because of each country's legal process. I hope it answered.
You should stay there. One here, it's okay.
Yeah, you have 2 more questions.
First, the question from Hannah, Germany.
No, everyone. Yeah, yes, in German. But I need to type the...
No, I will give the answer later. I don't answer.
Okay, yes, in the how do local platforms differ from NAs? What do you do at the local platforms?
Well, first of all, they're smaller.
Name and section.
China is Germany, or Düsseldorf. Yeah, smaller, so 30 to 30 participants normally, compared to NAs, more than 100. We do couch surfing or with a cabin, most likely. And the focus is more on socializing, getting to know the members of the neighboring section to support a bit the local cooperation, section cooperation, and also onboarding of new ESN members as for newbies. Yeah, it's a very social and focused event and cooperation starter event that's created this way.
Thank you. Hannah?
Hannah is in Filipino. What is ESN 201?
Okay, so as I said before, we have different levels in our training events. So if you attended 101, which is the very basic training where we mention like what is ESN, what is the ESN terms that we use, very, very basic stuff. They can attend to this 201, which is a bit more advanced, where they are trained more to develop their soft skills, how they can implement it during their local volunteering journeys. For example, how to effectively manage a team, how to prevent burnouts, so on and so on, where they can also implement it in their own lives. So this is a bit more advanced, but not the most advanced one, so I can definitely share more after today's session.
Mario, I'll report also to ESN Turkey. You've been in the national board. Have you seen the impact or any effects of the high inflation for your local level?
Yes, completely. I mean, I wouldn't say that the main reason is high inflation rate. Of course, it's affecting so much. But I would say that mainly the visa problems, because when the inflation is increasing, it's also very hard for us to travel abroad because the currency with Turkish lira and euro is very much very expensive for us. And that's why we are advocating for visa issues to make it easier for ESNers or volunteers who are doing something for students. They're not just, traveling, but also doing something for people. So we want to make sure to make it easier at least for them, so that at least this is like a minor profit against all this high inflation. Unfortunately, we cannot control this, but it's very much affecting the whole situation, I would say.
Hello, Julian Ersenwegen. You quickly mentioned, and I guess even skipped the slide about the psychological program. It sounded really interesting. Can you please quickly go with this?
Yes, sure. Since I'm a psychologist, I can talk about it for 2 hours. So basically, we made a project last year about how our Erasmus students who are going to Turkey are feeling and how their mental health is being affected, because there are so many elements involved in their Erasmus journey. We always talk about like cultural activities, parties, and so on, but we don't usually talk about how they feel mentally. So we made a research about it. It was like a questionnaire, and then we collaborated with Psychological Association in Turkey, and we created a report. So in the report, there were many topics where students were struggling the most, and how we can implement and how we can help them as national board members, as ESN Turkey side. So I can also share the report or the document with you on the chat. I will need to dig into my old documents, but I can definitely do that. And if you want to learn more, I can even share it afterwards. Because as I said, I'm a psychologist, so for this topic I can speak even more and more. I hope it answered your question.
There is a comment.
Mario, I'll report. How specific for Turkey was this evaluation, or is it also something which could be done in the whole network for the local level?
This project started even before my national mandate, so if I'm not mistaken, we spread this questionnaire in all NOs. And if I'm not mistaken, there were also so many people who participated from ESN Austria. But again, I need to refresh my knowledge because it's been a very long time since it happened. But this is something that we wanted to do last year, but I hope that my friends will also continue doing it in the next years to extend it so that we can generalize it more for all the SMs around, Erasmus students around Europe.
Okay, thank you. Before we continue, are there more questions expected apart from the last two? Then I propose to close the speakers list. Great, Mario?
Mario, I'll report. Me too or Sarniaki? What's your opinion?
I'm so happy that the only question to the Finnish delegation is about alcohol. Very representative. It's probably some, I have other people agreeing to that. Just so you know, by the way, one thing that I would just like to insert here. Only half of our events are anything to do with alcohol, just so you
enough, you didn't present.
How many percent? 6.
Thank you. And Dasha?
Dasha, yes, I'm Nivin. The thing is that once I was the Erasmus student of yes and Turkey, and I was in chillness, and just a question because of curiosity, can I apply to this event if I'm not related to yes and Turkey anymore anyhow?
Yes, absolutely. Because we are sharing all opportunities with all sections, so if you have access to your section emails, you will also receive those emails from all NOs, not necessarily from Turkey, but I'm sure other NOs are also sharing frequently. So definitely you can attend to any other events. As long as you are an ESNer, you have the ticket, the golden ticket to attend these events. Just follow your emails from your section email and then,
So like, it's not only for the students, it's for everyone basically?
Yeah. That's why we share it with the whole network, yes. And you can even bring your friends, which I think would be even better.
So thank you so much for your presentations. Please applause for our international guests. Talk to them. We're in the social program. Thank you for coming to Austria and also answering your question. I actually went to Eastern Turkey Cappadocia trip in November. Yes. I did see the buttons though, so if you're planning to go to Cappadocia trip, probably go straight. So we are very close to the end. We have one last presentation, which is related also to international events. So you learned a lot about our international guests, but now let's see what it is in Austria do during the international event. Please.
I don't know. Community meeting still is. What about the other way?
Where am I going?
Sorry.
Now. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to tell you something about the community meetings in Vilnius that I attended at the beginning of February this year. I was part of the training and activities community. We were about 100 participants there, and it was a very tight schedule, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, workshops like all day, and social program, cultural program in the evening. The picture that you can see now, it's from the first day. We did sightseeing, taking pictures, and it was a very nice way of getting to know the city. And in general, the event was very great to meet other people from other NOs that have the same position as you do. I'm not a communication manager, so don't mind my picture making skills, but that you have an impression how it looked like. The first picture is from one of the workshops. You can see me with a huge Yes and Austria flag because I was the only one from Austria. And in the middle you can see the opening ceremony from the Vice President Anya. And here you can see some of the best practices that we shared. And I also shared something about our national training event as best practice. So what were my highlights? Actually, we started with a workshop about the vision, mission, and values of ESM, and you would think like that's basic knowledge, but I think it was very nice to start off with that, so we were actually very refreshed on what we are doing and why we are doing what we do. And we had a session about events and events with social impact and how you can combine them. And we also had a session where we could network with fellow members that have same position in another NO, and it was actually very cool to see that sometimes the structure are different, but you can still learn a lot from others. And I also attended a workshop about funds, but I will come to that a bit later here. As I have told you before, I also presented our best practice from the national training event, but I was also inspired by other NOs, and for example the national event of Romania. They have the Halloween in Transylvania, and they explain how they pack everything in one event so that they show the incoming students what they want to see, like the castle of Dracula, but they use it to transport a lot of cultural values as well. Then ESN Slovakia, they have a social event of the month, so they pick a social event every month that they like the most, and in that way they increase also the social events through the whole country. And the last one was from ESN Porto, and it's ESN for moms and dads and beyond. And they said that they have this recurring event in which they invite exactly, like actually moms and dads and close friends, and in some minutes or an hour they just explain them what they do in ESN, because sometimes parents or close friends kind of really grasp why they spend so much time in ESN. So I liked this idea a lot, and and as I mentioned you before, I also attended a workshop about funds, and I was ready to put it in practice. So I was working with some of the national board members for applying for a fund for our national training event. And although I told it in all the groups that I attended today, but once again, save the date, it's in the middle of May. Registrations will be open soon.
Okay, so I also went to the community meetings, like in Tallinn. It was 1 week after the one in Vilnius. There were slightly less participants, with about 80 people, including the OC. It was the communication community, IT community, and education community. We started with the arrival day on Thursday that already included city tour and traditional dinner. Then on Friday and Saturday we had 4 sessions and workshops per day. Those were also very long. We finished at like 7 p.m. And on Sunday we had like a half day. Then the social program included also pretty traditional Estonian stuff, like sauna, karaoke, and they had an Estonian culture night where they taught us like Estonian dance. That was actually super fun. So I was there for the communication community. We were the smallest group, about 15 people. So it was mostly national communication managers from other NOs. There were some people from local level as well. And we had many sessions about a lot of things, but my favorites were the one about graphic design, social media, data analysis, media partners, communication across different levels in ESN. And we had 2 sessions together with the IT and education communities about different topics, like how the communities can work together and things like that. Here I have some pictures. Yeah, I don't know what to explain about it. It was cold. And here I have a picture with the Hungarians, because they told me that we take a monarchy picture. So, yeah, they asked me to do that. And that's it.
Hello everyone, my name is Giuseppe. Bruce and I were at the NA in Germany in February. It was all under the theme of Viva Colonia, because it was the week before Carnival started. And yeah, as you can see, it took place in the beginning of February. It was quite cold and rainy, but we had one day that was quite sunny, so it was a lovely day being back in my hometown, because this was also the reason why it was so special for me being back home and then having a great National Assembly there as well. We were about 160 plus participants, including the OC, so a bit bigger today. But yeah, we had a lot of full day of plenaries and workshops, as well as social program in the evening, which was also very very fun and clearly carnival related. That's why we dressed up, and doing that we built international connections as well, exchange of know-how and best practices for sure. So yeah, to give or to bring more information back home, as well as hope to give some input into other NOs. Yeah, definitely highlights were the workshops. We talked about the ESN card basics, for example, and the promotion strategies, as well as navigating volunteer motivation. Since this is also like a big topic, recruiting new members, but also keeping them and holding them motivated. Which a workshop that was also pretty interesting, or like especially in the for me in the next years will be the translation of the ESN experience for implementation in one CV. So how do we do a lot of things? We put all blood, sweat, and tears into our work, but how do we present it in a professional work environment? And this was like a perfect workshop about how to get it done, as well as the ESN courses, OC creation and management, and much more. And yeah, since we had the workshop on one hand, I brought a small recap on how the social program was. So I'll just leave it like this and have fun. You didn't stop the whole weekend, but I mean, I had musical soundtrack to all this in A. And as my fellow Eastern Germany member said, come to Rostock, have fun there, enjoy the beach in the summer, and hope to see you there soon.
I actually didn't go to any international events since the last time we met, sadly, sorry. Oops. I did go to Finland, and I did go to an ESN party from ESN Finland, so let's see. Yeah. And maybe that counts, who knows. But I wanted to take a little moment to remind you of upcoming events. Some of you are joining for EGM, so when will it take place? April, Split. We're going around 25 people from Austria. I'm looking forward to it, and reminder for everyone who's going to keep an eye on the phone stack. And please fill out the master sheet because Fabian wants to send invoices. Otherwise, he's gonna be really mad at me. Thank you. Next, GA Prague. We also talked about it, but it's gonna be Fabian, Jess, and me going, and expect a section consultation. Section consultation. We will talk to you guys about what we're going to vote on, so stay tuned. So that's what we're going to do in the next months. So please, the master sheet, invoicing details, ASAP. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much, but we still have Q&A session.
Oh.
But before that, are there any questions that you would like to ask? Then there is no Q&A session. Thank you so much for bringing in this beautiful experience from other events. I hope you got inspired by the experiences of others and that we're also going to see you at the next international event. And I'm very happy to announce that we came to the end of the agenda of the day 2 of Malta. And before we do the official closure, I have some announcement for you. So tomorrow is going to be a very important day because you're going to vote. So I would ask all the vote delegates to go into the voting delegation staff and check the email addresses. I sent out the email to as many vote delegates as I had at that time. So please check that the voting email is the one that you want to use for the voting because it's very crucial. And in case it's not, please text me on WhatsApp directly so that we can change that. Is it clear? Wonderful. Then, there are going to be sugar cubes. For those who don't know what sugar cubes are, do you want to show them? You want to present them or do you want to show them? Okay. So for those who don't know what sugar cubes are, these are envelopes with names of all the participants. And you can write small notes, mention something nice, something, I don't know, you enjoyed the conversation with them, it was very nice to see them. So you can write those small notes and put them right in those envelopes. But you will need to do that before the end of the day, because then once you're going to leave the day, you need to take the envelope with you, clearly. And this is a very nice memory, especially after the time when you come back and then you can, you know, open this envelope, it's so nice and cute, and you're like, oh, great time in Salzburg. So please do that. They will be here until tomorrow end of the day. So take your time, but maybe during the coffee break, during lunchtime. And also, before you leave, thank you, Pandora, for showing me. Before you leave, the vote delegates who are going to bring back the voting devices, you're going to get membership certificates that were also sent to you per email, but then we decided to also print them for you so that you can have them physically. Do you want to say something? Yes.
Engineers in Austria. These were certificates that were prepared by ESN International and the membership team, if I'm not mistaken, or the team. And these were already sent out, the link to all of these certificates were sent out directly to all of the sections. So we just decided that we'll just print them as paper so you can take it from here as paper, the certificate. So, but it's not from the MD, we just printed it. It's mainly from ESN International. Yes. Credit to them.
Yes. Credit to ESN International. Okay, so now for the official closing, OC, do you have any announcements? Do you have any announcements about dinner, social program, anything?
Just like the sugar cubes, if you find like, for example, 2 Sophias, you can still differentiate them because the color of the outline is matching your name text. So all the participants has pink and so on. And about the dinner, it's going to be at the Kahage, and you will have time to go back to the hostel if you want. But you can also go straight ahead to the dinner. It's going to be a bit more flexible on time, and also are already preparing the dinner. And the social program is going to start also afterwards at the place of the dinner.
Yes. Can you tell us what checkout tomorrow from the hostel? Or can we just leave our stuff there and we
I'm going to update you.
Yes.
The thing is about sugar cubes. 3 of us are from one section. She is Darina, she is Dasha, and I'm both.
My full name is Dorita and short name is Dasha. And how can people understand? Is it for George or me?
Maybe add plus.
That's the case. Dorita, Dasha, and
Maybe I'll figure it out.
And the question.
Last name.
Last name, okay.
Everybody will find your sugar cube, put your last name there.
Okay.
Yeah, I missed the first one.
Any other question?
You wanted to say something.
Any other questions?
Sorry, that was the comment.
I know.
Ah.
Any other questions? No, okay. Great. So for sugar groups, if you have the same names, put the first letter of your surname. So the dinner is in Kahage. And they're saying place for the social program, but you can go to the hostel first. Thank you so much. And then I would ask MB close the date. Please be tomorrow on time because it's voting and that's very important. And if you're not there, then you're not there.
After you're done.
Yes, so everyone, thank you for the day. I'm actually very, very happy and pleased. And I hope you had a lot of fun today. And especially one memory I want to take from today itself is how much I love how everybody was engaged with all of the discussions and engagement with all the workshops and experiments. So a big thank you to all of you, because whatever you're doing here, it's also going to be what you're doing after you for the people coming after you. So thank you for putting all of the effort and energy that you put in today. It's very happy to see you organize this program. Yes, and there's going to be a mail presentation tomorrow for all of the other things. And for today, for tomorrow, as our lovely city already told you, keep back the voting CISs today, and tomorrow collect them again, and tomorrow is the big voting day. So you also have the opportunity now during the social program and tomorrow also to talk to all of the applicants who have presented themselves today. It takes a lot of effort and courage to come up and put yourself out there. So big shout out to everybody who has applied. And go talk to them if you have any more questions. You're going to get to know them better and then make your decisions on who to vote for or not to vote for. And also look back at the documents if there's any clarities, anything you want to check back on. Yeah? Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining the day and hoping to see you with all of the freshness tomorrow morning. And actually closing the day.
That's good.